it's hard, but baby, don't fade. It's worth the fight, 'cause it's all my heart can take. Broke from my mistakes, scared that it's too late. So please, don't say it's the end of the story. Don't say it's the end of the road. 'Cause as long as you're there to hold me, I'll always be calling you home. Don't know what's waiting before me, but I don't have to go it alone. 'Cause as long as you're there to hold me, I'll always be calling you home. Calling you home. Calling you home. Feel the waves over my head. I'm in too deep. I'm fading fast, but running right back. Can't you see that it's all my heart can take? Broke from my mistakes, scared that it's too late. So please, don't say it's the end of the story. Don't say it's the end of the road. 'Cause as long as you're there to hold me, I'll always be calling you home. Don't know what's waiting before me, but I don't have to go it alone. 'Cause as long as you're there to hold me, I'll always be calling you home. Always be calling you home. Always be calling you home. Calling you home.
it's up to us if we should sink or swim. So let's all join the symphony of fallen angels, and the sound of 1,000 feet will go on and on and on. We can sway to the symphony of fallen angels, make our way into the night, make our way into the night. Here in the land of smoke and mirrors, status only matters when you give us something to see. In this impatient generation, all for reputation, the more the lights, the cooler you seem. 'Cause we hide behind our pocket silver screen, and we ride it like our private limousine. You only show us what you want us to see. We're all so jealous of the love that you need. Pretty little picture, pretty little picture, pretty little picture thieves. Can't get enough of the attention. Post up your obsession just so you can say, look at me. And while you're posing for the camera, soaking up the glamour, daddy pays the bills every week. 'Cause we hide behind our pocket silver screen, and we ride it like our private limousine. You only show us what you want us to see. We're all so jealous of the love that you need. Pretty little picture, pretty little picture, pretty little picture thieves. I hope we're best friends forever. Not even sure if I've met ya. All the help that you steal, is your life even real? You only show us what you want us to see. We're oh so jealous of the life that you lead. Pretty little picture, pretty little picture, pretty little picture thieves. You only show us what you want us to see. We're all so jealous of the love that you need. Pretty little picture, pretty little picture, pretty little picture thieves. Pretty little picture, pretty little picture, pretty little picture thieves.
What's up, guys? It's time for the pre-show before we get our actual match in the ASL started. We're going to get questions from our interviewer as well as questions from the fans.
Maybe they're fans too, but they're definitely
France. And we're going to get that translated for you as well as the responses from our pro gamers. So hello, everybody. Hello.
선수들이 경기보다 오히려 이 인터뷰가 더 긴장된다고 말씀하셨는데 정말 편안하게 팬분들에게 답변을 해주신다는 마음으로 즐겁게 답변을 해주시길
So a lot of you guys are saying that this interview is going to be more stressful than the games themselves.
16강에 사실상 테란이 가장 적습니다. 그만큼
Let's start with you, Sharp.
선수에게 많은 분들이 주목을 하고 계신데요.
We don't have many Terrans in the round of 16, so a lot of fans have their eye on you and are hoping that you could advance. Do you feel the pressure?
하나같이 다 많이 떨어져가지고 부담이 솔직히 많이 돼요. 지금 올라가 있는
Yeah, I've been watching the Terrans get eliminated.
부담감이
I do feel the pressure to try to advance to the round of 16.
다들 못
but
올라간다라는 말이
this group is
많은데
pretty strong.
열심히 준비했었거든요.
A lot of people say that I should be able to make it.
꼭 노력해 보겠습니다. 올라가도록.
네, 또 옆에 계신 김성대 선수는 ASL 첫
So I'm going to put my best effort
진출이시잖아요.
in.
또 각오가 좀 남다르실 것 같은데 오늘 좀 어떤 마음으로 경기장에 오셨어요?
우선 제가
So this is your very
작년
first
8월
ASL. What's your mindset
제대하고
like right now,
ASL
Action?
프로를 바로 도전했었는데 이제 아프리카에서
So I just got done with my military service.
떨어지고 좀 충격을
in
많이
August.
받았는데 이번에는 그래도 실력파 BJ로서 도전하는
2 weeks after getting out of the army,
꼭 올라가고
I went to a qualifier and got eliminated.
또 오늘
But
경기장에 오신 것
I prepped
같은데
hard for this time around and managed to advance.
경기력을 보여주고 계신
So I'm
김민철
excited.
선수도 또 2조에서 경기를 펼치게 되셨습니다. 오랜만에 뵙는 것 같아요. 어떻게 지내셨어요?
그냥 열심히 게임하면서
Soki, how have you been?
평소처럼 그냥 똑같이 지냈던 것 같아요. 열심히 게임만
Oh
했어요.
yeah, just the same as usual, just gaming a lot,
폼이 많이
streaming.
올라왔다는 평들이 많은데 본인 스스로도 좀 많이 느끼나요?
A lot of people are saying Zerg's on fire. How do you feel about that?
지금도 그렇고
Well, somehow
자신감이 좀 넘치거든요.
I've just been playing the kind of games I want to play.
빨리 그냥 게임을 좀 보여드리고 싶다는 생각밖에 안
I
들어요.
almost said I'm overconfident.
빨리 경기를
I'm just
보여주고
thinking that I want to
싶다는
jump in the game and show everybody what I'm made of.
또 변현재 선수께도 질문을 드리겠습니다. 지난 두 번의 시즌 ASL에서 좀 아쉬운 결과 때문에 본인 스스로도 이번 시즌 5 좀 남다르실 것
So many in
같아요.
the previous ASL seasons, you were eliminated pretty early. What are your determinations going into this season? Yeah, that's correct. I was eliminated in the round of 16 pretty early. So
좋은 경기 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
I've just been trying to reduce my stress and alleviate my anxiety. I think as long as I can do that, I should be fine.
본격적으로 팬분들이 주신 질문을 전해드리는 시간 가져보겠습니다. 먼저 조기석 선수께 드리는 질문입니다. 흑도자기님께서
Okay, we've got some questions from the fans.
받아들일 의향이 있으신가요?라는 질문을 남겨주셨는데 제가 알기로는 이미 그 코칭 방송을 한 걸로 알고 있거든요.
네네.
어떠셨어요? 좀 효과가 있으셨어요?
So there's a suggestion that you should be, that somebody should be coaching Sharp and
아닌 것 같아요,
Berserker.
진짜로.
Berserker, thank you.
조금 잘 가르쳐 줄 줄
Or
알았는데
Iris.
그냥 방송만 알려주더라고요.
No, I don't think he'd be a great
방송만
coach.
이렇게 해라. 그래도 딱 팁을 주더라고요. 방송하면서
He just knows how to stream well and interact with
어떻게
his
이제
chat.
어떤 종족전을 이렇게 해라라고 이제 팁을 주셨었어요.
윤찬희 선수도 좀 아쉽게 떨어지긴 했지만 같이 방송을
He gives
한 걸
me
제가 봤거든요.
several tips though on how to
피자 입장에서 좀
how to
이건
handle a mirror
조심해라라고
matchup.
조언해 준 것도 있나요?
일단
What about
윤찬
Mong?
선수가
Did you get any tips from
자기처럼
Mong?
머리 자르지 말라고 하더라고요. 머리 자르면은 네, 그럼 바로 이제 떨어진다고.
He said, "Don't get a haircut
머리
like I
자르지
got."
말고 너는 끝나고 자르라고.
맞아요. 중요한 시험을 앞두고 좀 머리나 손톱 자르는 거좀
It says if you get a haircut before a match, you lose.
드릴게요.
After you make it to the round of 16, it's okay to get a haircut.
Yeah, that's why Mong lost for sure.
I love that. That's funny.
굉장히 심층적으로 이 산마린 돌리기에 대해서 좀 연구를 하고 계신 분 같은데 답변을 좀 해주시죠.
일단은 저의 특유의
So
낙감이라는 운영인데
you've got a trademark play where you send 3 rings to pressure your opponent. Where did that come from?
내가 안 갈 것 같이 이제 가는 거예요. 여기서
So I've just been sending 3
상대방
Marines
당황을 하더라고요. 거기서 이제 이득을 많이 보면서 또
to make my
못하는
opponents
척을
drop
해요.
their guard.
그러면서 또 이득 보는 거예요. 그런 느낌으로 게임을 하면은
And I pretend that I'm not making well. I'm actually masking my play, making it look like I don't know what I'm doing. Why would you send 3 Marines out? Doesn't make sense. And that's my way of getting into the mind games against my opponent.
오랜만에 또 성대가 또 오랜만에 경기하니까 첫 세트
Who do you think's fallen into this trap the most? Oh, I'd say Action over here.
어떠세요?
I think he's most likely to fall into my traps this time around.
아 우선 근데 선맵이라서 당할 게 없다고 생각하고 근데
What do you think about his
평소에
comment
그냥
section?
일반 맵에서도
well,
사실 기석이가 산마린 막 돌리면서
since
오버를
the map's
잡고
sparkle,
하는 걸 많이 봤는데
I'm not too stressed about
이득 본 거를
that.
거의 못 봤거든요. 이득을 봤다고 해도 항상 지는
But I
경우가
did
많이
see his trademark
봐가지고
play,
저는
setting the
자신
three marines up.
네, 그다지 부담되지
But I don't see him
않는다는
winning that much
답변의
with it either.
김성대 선수였고요. 계속해서 조기석 선수께 질문 드리겠습니다.
So I'm not too worried.
16강 진출하면 그 특유의 선글라스 댄스 저도 봤어요. 클럽 댄스. 굉장히
So
위험하시던데
sharp.
오늘 또
If you
세리머니를
make it to the
보여주실
round of
생각 있으세요?
16,
아 근데 진짜 오늘 2조에서
Will you show
올라가면
your winning
그냥
ceremony?
기뻐가지고 그냥 날뛸 것 같아요. 그냥
I know that
2조에서
you're
여기 조에서
doing
올라가면
for that, you know, for this club dance that you do with sunglasses on.
세레머니 나올 것 같습니다. 바로.
만약에 정말 세리머니 해주신다면 저도 열심히 호응해 드리도록
I'll be jumping a lot. I'll be bursting with joy if I manage to
선수께도
advance.
질문을 드리겠습니다. 요즘 연습량이 정말 어마어마하다고 제가 들었습니다. 평소에 연습 몇
So,
시간 정도
action.
하세요?
아 근데 우선 시간이 중요하다다 게임
Their
숫자가 요새는 중요한
fans
것
are saying that when they
같은데
look at your online data,
도와주시는 분들이 많아가지고
you can see that you've been training a lot. How much practice do you think you've actually put in?
그래도 비교적 여기 아프리카 이제 하시는 게이머
compared to my pro gamer
더
phase,
많이 했던 것
I don't
같아요.
think I practiced as much by comparison,
BJ로
but I
현재
personally
생활하고
think I
계신 것과
practiced more
현역 때
than
프로게이머로 생활하실 때 어떤 것들이 좀 가장 다르세요?
the other players in
우선
general
뭐
in the ASL.
자유롭고 이런 차이가 있는데 보통은 BJ 때를 다들 좋아하시는데 저는 아직 BJ로서
So when you compare being a streamer now compared to your pro gamer days, what are the pros and the cons?
숙소 생활도 그렇고.
I still miss my pro gamer days. I miss living with a group of guys
선수께 다음 질문을
and training
드리겠습니다.
together.
요즘 온라인에서 포스가 정말 장난이 아닌데
And just being with these pros in the
16강은
team house,
물론이고 좀
I relish
우승에
those
대한
days.
자신감도 좀 있으실 것 같아요.
So,
아까도
Silky.
말했지만 자신감 많이 있고요. 근데 또
How confident are you can take this entire thing?
그래서
네.
I'm very confident.
노려볼 만하다는 생각이 들어요.
Actually,
근데
I'm a
유독
fan of these new maps,
김기범님께서도
especially
질문을
Sparkle.
주셨는데 김승현 선수와 김민철
He's a short
선수를 하수라고 항상 얘기를 자주 하더라고요.
so I am Mong.
이 질문이 참 대답하기가
Made a
좀
mention that Sulky
뭐한데
is
그 형 생각에는
not
이제
is
진심 반 농담 반인 것
overconfident.
같아요. 근데 진심이 조금 섞였다라는 게
I suppose it's a half
자존심이 좀
truth
상하네요.
and half a joke.
오히려 100% 농담이
It
아닌 것
hurts a
같아서
little.
자존심이 상하신다고요. 네.
50% true, maybe.
자, 알겠습니다. 자, 마지막으로 변현재 선수께도 좀 질문을 드려봐야 될 것 같은데 좀 묵직한 질문 하나가 날라왔습니다.
I feel like when we look at these pro gamers, I feel like they were all called to the principal's office. Or
Yeah.
what do you think?
온라인에서는
sure.
이제 셔틀을 좀 많이 쓰는데 방송 경기에서는 셔틀을
So,
좀
Minnie, do you have any
별로
special shuttle
없더라고요.
plays
제가 긴장을 해서
with
그런지
GGs?
셔틀 플레이가 약간 손에 안 익더라고요. 그래가지고 오늘은 일단은 좀
So in the
잘 써보도록
broadcasted matches, I tend to get a little bit more nervous.
긴장만 안 하신다면 또 특유의 변현재 선수의 플레이가 나올 것으로 기대를 하겠고요. 또 다음
If I
질문인데
think I have good
결국
focus,
정파를
I
이길 수
should have good
없다는
shuttle
말이
play.
있습니다. 더 높이 가기 위해서는 정파를 혹시 전향하실 생각은 없으신지도 궁금해하셨거든요.
아니요, 저는 일단은 좀 정석적인 플레이
So he's known
관심이 없고요. 근데
to-
일단
to-
다른
as the party
토스들도
Protoss, you're known for
생각보다
having
이제
twisted play
맵들도
style.
달라지고 하다 보니까 약간 소급 셔틀 같은 거
Are you going to try to switch to more traditional
네.
Protoss style?
그냥 제 플레이를 배울 수 있도록 제가 이제 더 열심히 하는 수밖에 없는 것 같아요.
오히려 그 변칙적인 플레이가
I think it's
본인에게
more to
맞기
focus on my
때문에
gameplay in
역시 좀
general.
사파
Just to
프로토스의
try to
수정자원
focus on getting good results.
답변까지
Very
잘
serious answer there.
들어봤습니다. 지금까지 2조 선수들과 재밌는 대화 나눠봤는데요. 인터뷰
So
내주셔서
far,
감사드립니다.
that's our interview.
자, ASL에 진출한
That's all
선수들에
the time we
대한
have.
궁금증들
What was that
ASL
look that
공식
action gave
홈페이지를
over
통해서 계속해서 받고 있습니다. 12분께는
Okay,
저희가 선정을 해서
guys,
최대 30일
that does it
선물까지
for our
드리니까요.
interview.
계속해서
We
많은
are going to
참여
now officially start this day of the ASL. We only got 2 more days left, right? Before we go to the next round, correct?
right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
저는
Yeah.
잠시 후에 돌아오도록
Cool.
하겠습니다.
All right, guys,
지금까지
stay
이영경이었습니다.
tuned. We'll be back with the actual ASL.
ASL Season 5.
What's up?
You
We're here
always-
at the ASL.
You always make the show better, Casey.
Thank you.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
We are back in the final 2 days of the ASL for this round before we advance deeper.
Yes.
We are wrapping things up here. It's been great games so far. We've been exploring the map Sparkle and what an island map of that nature looks like in 2018. It's been a lot of fun. Seems like Terrans are having a hard time.
Yeah.
The other maps we've had are great as well, but I think that's kind of one of the bigger themes here of this ASL this time around.
Things are definitely getting explored a lot more on these maps. We've seen Terrans definitely have a very difficult time on Sparkle, as you say. On really all the maps, not Gladiator, but even I've been watching a lot of the new map we're going to have, Third World, that they're still kind of refining right now for the next round. But for anyone who did not read Flash's interview on Team Liquid, definitely check that out. He even says, he's like,
Yeah.
I look at these maps and I realize what lengths they're going to try to make it so I don't win again. And we see that really reflected because the only Terran that has actually made it through the round of 24 thus far, and by the way, we have all the best Terran players in the world in the round of 24. I guess the only guy we don't really have is Piano. But other than that, everybody. And Mine is the only one that makes it. He makes it off the back of a Terran versus Terran on Sparkle, and then holding a bad all-in from Where. Or not Where, I'm sorry. What Zerg player was that? Oh, my brain is farting. Anyways, like, that's the Terran that got through. Will we get Sharp through, or will we get C through? I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, it's just Mind and Flash.
Yeah, I will say, though, Mind is definitely one of the brainiest players. We can't be too surprised that he is getting deep despite these kind of really complex, difficult maps. Real challenges for Terran. Sharp is the Terran we have our eyes on now to see if he can actually pull off the impossible.
Yeah.
That being said, I know that Terran's having a hard time now. You never know with Brood War what people start to figure out as time passes.
Yeah.
This game has changed so many times on so many different maps and so many different matchups that I'm not counting a Terran, whether it's Mind or Flash, still taking this entire tournament. There's still time to start figuring stuff out.
Sure. Yeah, it is a possibility. But will Sharp make it out of this group? Sulky will make it out of this group. Sulky has been for about, I don't know, 6-7 months in my opinion, like basically the best Zerg in the world. He's good, man. If Flash wasn't going to win last season, it was going to be Sulky that took him down, but ZVZ's had something to say about that, and I would be very surprised if he doesn't make it out of this group. Some weird things would have to occur.
Yeah. Well, Sulky was somebody we actually, I think it was at least 2 ASLs we were saying he might be the actual best Brood War player in the world.
Yeah.
He looks, when he's on,
Yeah.
he looks like better, I think sometimes than Effort and Jaedong.
He does.
Which I don't care if
He
that's
does.
unpopular to say. I think he actually does look a little bit cleaner, a little bit tidier.
He does look better than both of them. I agree
Yeah.
with this. I think that he is second to Flash right now in the game.
I think so.
Flash is always the best, though. There's nothing you can do about that guy right now. So, Sharp. It was interesting to hear during the interview. I can't believe this is his song. It was interesting to hear during the interview, one of the fans was like, what about Berserker as your coach, a.k.a. Iris? And I don't know why they brought that up, but the one thing that comes to mind is Iris was like the most aggressive Terran player back in the day, and that matches up with Sharp. Sharp is the most aggressive Terran that we have at the top of the game right now.
Well, also, I think if you haven't watched Berserker's stream, man, he's like seriously hilarious.
Oh, yeah?
He's got a lot of personality, and I believe he talks. I think they're actually friends.
Yeah, probably.
Action, I don't know what to expect here with Action. I believe he has been training hard. A lot of times these guys who were pros back in the day that you didn't know a ton about, you might have been a big fan and not really be that familiar with Action. That doesn't mean that the way he played in the past is how he's going to play now. Sometimes it takes players even over a decade before they hit their stride.
Absolutely. Well, I know a bit about Action. I actually lived with him for well over a year in the Eastro house.
I want to point this out. Hear this music playing?
Yeah.
This is a StarCraft song. This is his kind of StarCraft song. Some of these guys are picking songs
funny.
that they're silly or it's like walkout music.
Yeah.
No. I think he's taking this. I'm going to call right now. Action's going to win this.
Okay. Well, it's Sparkle, so you're probably right.
Yeah. I'm a very brave man.
But yeah, about Action real quick. Hard work is really treasured within the scene. And Action was the hardest worker on Eastro, known across the game as one of the hardest working pro gamers. So definitely says something about his character.
ASL Season 5. Turnaround.
So we have, Sharp here in the bottom right, and Action in the upper left. So this is cross spawns on an island map.
Yeah. Now, Sparkle definitely has gone Zerg favored in this matchup at this point. It's something that I was wondering about for a bit, but definitely that seems to be the case. One thing I do want to point out is I did get to see just a little bit of Sharp's play on this map, TVZ. Not very much. I think he was like hiding his stream. I was looking for it the last couple days, so I think he was like trying to not stream exactly what he was doing for practice, which, I mean, could be smart.
I respect that.
But knowing Action, he wouldn't watch the VODs anyways. This guy only plays games. Like,
yeah,
he is actually...
he's a grinder.
Like, I can't even... Like, guys, he used to practice, like, there was set practice hours. He would practice 2-3 hours beyond that. So, like, he was actually not getting enough sleep every night. It was crazy. He is one of the biggest grinders ever to have lived in StarCraft.
You know, there are pros and cons to that, too.
Yes.
And some of that can also be compulsion. Like, I just need to keep playing, but I'm not really focused on improving.
Well,
I would actually say that's one of the biggest problems with some people that grind in certain games, and StarCraft's especially one of them, is you watch people that just play game after game after game after game, and they're not... They might not be taking up. Or for instance, you're saying he's not getting enough sleep, right? Like, at that time.
Yeah, he was not getting enough sleep back when he was on Eastro.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, so... I mean, the thing is, culturally, it's like a really good thing. He was highly respected for his work ethic.
True.
That is part of the reason why Korean gamers, like whatever game they enter, they're the best at. And this is just true across like all games, basically. They work harder than everybody, and they generally have a more humble mindset and things like this. And Action is really the epitome of hard work. So he's mechanically really, really fantastic, but he's never like really shown great consistency with his level of play.
Sure.
But I would also call him underrated. On the other hand, with Sharp, like, he's generally pretty aggressive, but at least what I saw him do on this map, I liked a lot better than what I've seen from other people. Obviously, he'll open up with some Wraiths and Valkyries and stuff, but eventually he starts getting factories onto islands and just making sure he has siege tanks to help fend off Hydra drops. He gets into his vessels reasonably quickly. He's consistently scanning, looking for overlords coming in, and just irradiating the hell out of them, targeting them down with Wraiths and Valks, and trying to clean things up in that way. And I enjoyed the TVZs I saw from him on this map so far, which really wasn't very much, but I'm hoping that he can have a shot here. Because the thing is, like, if you lose this match as Sharp specifically, you go to Transistor, and you're either against Sulky, who should be getting out of this group and maybe winning ASL.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Sulky, out of all the people we've ever had in any of these groups, I feel like Sulky's the one I'm the most confident advancing.
Yeah.
Who did he lose to last time? Do you remember? I hate to put you on the spot here.
Larva or Hero? I can't remember. Larva or Hero?
That's right. He lost in a ZVZ. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was round of a ZVZ. Maybe it was Hero. But, yeah, so he either plays him or he plays a Transistor Protoss mini. So it's tough. And Sharp is very good TVP, so there's something to be said about that, but I don't rely on him winning on Transistor. I think that Sharp, if he gets out of this group, it might be on Gladiator at the end.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. What do you think Terran can do? If we could theory craft here, what do you think that Terran could possibly try to mix in or improve on to have maybe an easier time against Zerg? And I know there's no easy answer for that, but if we can try to indulge this this thought experiment.
So I think you, of course, have to open up with 2-port Wraith, and you have to go into Valkyries. I kind of explained that last time we were watching a TVZ here,
right?
Where it's just like, otherwise you will never have any sort of control. If you start to gain any sort of advantage in the air like we saw last do, I feel like that's where you have to take the risk and switch your tech slightly, like get into some science vessels, right? Because Irradiate in like low numbers isn't gonna do it on this map. But once you've kind of gained that advantage and you can get out a few vessels, maybe that can work. We saw Light really try to go into bio play here from his Wraith, like a very quick transition with that. I don't think that that is a way to win the game, but you can certainly hurt your opponent possibly. But yeah, I kind of just want to see Sharp get into vessels once he gains some sort of air control. And the thing is, you might not ever gain that, but if you do, maybe that's where you can go.
You know, it's so funny because we started out this season of the ASL really talking about how Zerg was the reason why we had to walk away from island maps in maybe the first 4 years of StarCraft esports, really the start of esports. Basically, people said, we probably shouldn't have island maps on here anymore. This isn't really fair for Zerg. Now it seems like we've made a map to try to reintroduce this idea, and it's actually a map that suddenly Zerg are dominating on.
Yeah.
And here we are, what's like 3 or 4 weeks into ASL, and now we're saying, well, you know, I mean, he's a Zerg after all.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like he should be able to crush through. This Terran might not have a hope.
Yeah.
And, you know, I will say, even though I guess that kind of sucks for some of these Terrans this season, I think it's worth pointing out that, hey, we can have island maps. At least as far as the Zergs are concerned, it's okay. And this means we could start to tinker with this more and more and more.
Well, we're gonna even add in a half island map with Third World in the next round, so that'll be kind of interesting to see as well how that goes down. I think it's going to be more of kind of these same problems, but we'll see about that. Now, this was a Hydralisk opening into Spire. I mean, he's not making that many Hydras right now. What will he go with this Spire? Obviously, he needs to get his Overlord speed and drops to go with these Hydras, but is he going to go into actual Mutalisks? I don't think so. I think he's just going to go Scourge, right? Scourge and Carapace, perhaps?
Well, if he has this many Hydras. This is kind of a cool approach that we're seeing here from Action.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we saw from Shine.
Way, are you familiar with WGM?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Very old school team. Very strong team back. Well, not the strongest, but, you know,
solid.
Definitely had good players on it. KTMGW, I remember being a tag at one point.
Okay. So the Wraiths are now identifying, you know, okay, there's the Hydras in play here, quite a bit of them. It seems like the Wraith Harass is going to be that good.
Yeah, he's sealed up pretty tight.
Yeah.
Still staying on the Wraith, though. Now, when we saw a Light against Shine on this map, Light saw that it was a Hydralisk-based play and switched out of his Wraith rather quickly into Bio Drops and did end up doing some damage with it. Yeah, very nice picking that Scourge off. But we don't see that from Sharp, and I like this a bit more. Of course, you run the risk if a big Hydra drop somehow evades you and like gets somewhere, then you might be in trouble from that, especially if it got in your main. But it's cross map. I don't think that'll be the case.
Oh, this is cute. Look at this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Might as well try to take out any creep on these other mains here because that you don't want Zerg to be able to leverage that position later on. And now banking Mutas.
Okay.
Very cool stuff here from Action.
It's interesting, right? Because you see Hydras first, and there's kind of a ring of spores, and the Hydras are patrolling. So you're like, okay, it's a Hydra play I'm against. You're not going to make any Valkyries. If you don't have Valkyries, Mutalisks will beat Wraiths at when you get up to a high enough number. There's not going to be a whole lot you can do about that.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Zerg just drops the main if it's when he can get there and this game ends with this many Hydras. That doesn't mean that is what's going to happen, but if he can avoid being spotted, it's a lot easier to pull this off in cross spots unless he brazenly goes right over this eBay.
Well,
okay, well, never mind. I thought he might try to go around.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. Now,
this is a tough one. That's a lot of Scourge and Mutas to have to fend off.
I don't know about this Artosis. I feel like Sharp did not anticipate Action to play exactly like this.
He's in the wrong position. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Oh
okay,
my
okay,
God.
he's seeing it. He's seeing
Here we go. Very important moment here. Scourge connecting. Now he needs to just get these Overlords to unload over here.
Oh boy, I don't know about this one, Tasteless. He's gonna pull his SCVs immediately.
Okay, I think that's actually it. This many Hydras can just kill everything, especially comboed with the Mutas. This seems almost like a textbook loss, to be honest.
Well,
although I think he didn't expect the Zerg to go for a style exactly like this with the drops.
Sure.
Scourge over the starports. Look, Action, I think, coming to this with a very solid approach to ZVT. Easy peasy.
Sure. Yeah, that was super straightforward.
Yeah.
What can you really say? So Action smashes in that first game. This puts Sharp in a very rough position.
Yeah.
Well, this is what you get for playing the same race as Flash, Sharp. You get to play on Sparkle.
You know, I gotta say, that was definitely a game where it seems like Action just put in the practice and it paid off.
Yeah.
And that was exactly the way the win was supposed to go.
Yeah, he had too much for Race to engage.
I don't know about this continuing to mass Wraith. I know that it's really hard for Terran, but I don't know if it's... Wraiths are not good at actually fighting, like face-to-face. They're good at sniping. They're good at... I don't know.
Yeah, well...
Now,
you have to, be clever with them and stuff. If he saw this drop coming right when it left, maybe he can dog it the whole way and make something happen. But when he saw it that close, there wasn't much time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see some different approaches here. I don't want to be too critical of Sharp, but that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that was tough.
I think in a little bit we are going to go to a break here and go into our next match. But the pressure's really on for Sharp. I could definitely tell that Action is practiced.
Yeah.
And it has a plan coming into these maps and these specific matchups. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're going to have a short break. When we come back, we'll go to game number 2 here in tonight's ASL. Don't go away.
생명 연장했고.
저희 유저들의 수준을 너무 과소평가하고 있어요. 마음에 안 들어요.
작업 장벽이 없으면 시장 경제도 없는 거예요, 모든 게임에.
지금
너무 모르신다.
일단은 게임을 너무 안 하시는 것 같은 분위기가 좀
냄새가 난다, 냄새가. 지금 이게 경기 얼마나 많은데. 열심히 하겠습니다. 빨리. 끝나는. 저 얼굴 눈빛이 달라졌어요. 안색 좋아진 거 봐. 안색 좋아진.
사기네. 요즘 또 그 확률 조작 확률가.
내가 나오고 있다. 내가 나오고 있다. 집에서도 혹시 이거 손을 좀. 자, 이에 맞서는. 협조한답니다. 이제 피했어요. 기사끼는 피했어요. 자, 스토리에 됐고. 전투력 책 빼놨는데 그거 잡으면 서버 영웅입니다. 네, 지금 채팅창에 BJ 됐고. 아, 네, 앞에다. 컨트롤 되게 좋은데? 여기서. 아픈데? 너무 아픈데? 야, 밖에. 야, 이거 나가야죠. 뭐야, 움직여, 뭐야. 움직여. 뺨으로 무지개 때려맞았습니다. 한번 사고 당했죠. 근데 일본은 달라요. 우아인님은 막 떨는데 다 피해. 다 피하고.
Back from the dead.
시즌 6에서 꼭 만나요.
복사전 영원하라. 메이크업 좋아. 썰맨 한번 잡고 가겠습니다. 썰맨 한번 잡고. 와, 활용이 이렇게 되네.
왜냐면 여기 오는 분들은 다 화면 보고 오는 거죠.
그러니까요.
뭐 마지막 인사 같은데요.
떠나는 사람이 왜 그래요?
공설전 100시즌 반드시 이루어 드리겠습니다.
누드 톤으로 했거든요.
진짜요?
10,000명 가죠.
지금 근데 저거 보면 14?
자, 14. 잘 먹었어. 갤럭시 S 노트 리틀 에볼루션 한정판의 주인공이 되겠습니다. 있어. 남은 살수무님 있어.
올려봐, 채팅 올려봐.
We're back here at the ASL, and I think our next match is going to be a little bit better.
Well, it would be hard to be worse than that match, unfortunately.
Game 1 was pretty straightforward. It looked like a game where the Terran would have learned something before his ASL match, and that way the game would not look, the actual ASL game would not look like that. We had a Hydra drop that was backed up with enough Muta and Scourge that there was no way it seemed to stop the Hydra drop before it unloaded.
That was like a timing attack of sorts that
Sure.
destroyed the build of Sharp, just massacred it.
I mean, I don't, not much else you can say other than that was not handled correctly by Terran. Granted, it seems like this map is quite hard for Terran. That's what the pros are saying. That's what our results are finding.
We don't know if it'll work, though.
It might not work.
He might just punk those types of builds.
That's the thing is I really do want to see what Flash opens with on this map. Because if we start to see exactly what he does in the most important matches, maybe the Terrans will have an answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need one or two brainy guys right at the top navigating that difficult decision tree in the matchup.
Terran has that, man. It is Flash. We'll see about that going forward. Sharp's in that loser match, so one step closer to another Terran not advancing. But right now, Sulky going up against Mini. Sulky feels pretty confident, as he says, maybe even overconfident. And that's because I believe the only player with a winning record against Sulky might be Flash right now, as far as matches go. And it's not a very big winning record. Sulky's got one of the closest records with Flash out of anybody.
By the way, Sulky and Rain, the only guys I think of that really did both the StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1 for extended periods of time, dominated in both games. Obviously, Flash played StarCraft 2 and was quite good, but he wasn't the same caliber or the same level I'd say that you see with, for instance, Sulky being on top of both, or Rain. And now Mini, this guy's actually a phenomenal Protoss player. He's great. A great guy to watch play. Unfortunately, I'm going to say he should lose this against somebody like Sulky.
Yeah, I would say so. Sulky would be very prepared. But Mini is like one of these up-and-coming talents right now. He's super strong. Every top player practices with him because he's simply one of the best Protosses right now.
Right.
If he can deliver his best play, there's definitely a chance to take down Sulky, but Sulky's a favorite of this group. He's the favorite of the group that he's going to have in the next round. He's the favorite of his first round of 8 match, unless it's against Flash. I think that this season could even be Sulky's. So.
Let's also keep in mind that this is PVZ on an island map. Protosses generally are regarded as stronger than Zergs. I want to say regard because it doesn't mean that one race can't beat the other one on these maps.
No, certainly.
There's way too many moving parts in a StarCraft game to try to simplify it down to that. But let's see what happens with Mini and Sulky. Are we just going to see Corsair Reaver? Is there some alternative approach that Mini's going to have in store for us? How exactly does Sulky leverage the way this map's structured as well? We're going to find out as our game is loading out.
ASL Season 5. Turnaround.
Slag bars are too thick.
Okay, so they're both hugging the left side of the map. It's Sulky in the bottom left and Mini in the top left here. But Sulky's Overlord is going in the wrong direction. Through no fault of his own, but he has to pick one way to go.
Yeah. Normally you go towards naturals.
Yeah, makes sense. That's actually true on land maps as well. You want to check if the Protoss is fast expanding. So with that Overlord going towards the right, it will get to that natural location a little bit quicker.
All right.
Does he actually want to send? I guess he probably wants to send it so that the Overlord just grazes over the minerals of the natural.
Yes. Yeah. Like in towards the main base.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty unlikely to get there and have a Dragoon out. Musapa, the AK of Mini. Very few of these guys actually play on their real IDs online.
Right.
So if you are a Brood War stream watcher, you got to have open some of the web pages that have all their different IDs because they're just all over the place.
Little Zergling there. Little heart too. Uh-oh. That was close.
Oh, no.
So the trend on these maps is for both races to fast expand. We had one Protoss player who actually didn't. Who was it? Who was the person that did not fast expand? Oh, no, it was Mong who wasn't fast expanding on this map. It was a Terran player.
Oh, that's right. That was a TVP. He was going for super fast Goliath drop, and it almost worked, too. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, there was definitely some thought behind it.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's hard to think of a reason why you wouldn't want to get a Nexus or a hatchery up right away.
And let's not forget, wasn't it Where versus Best? I want to say maybe I'm off on that. God, I'm forgetting some of these games that we've seen. We've had a lot of different ones, but where it was like a 9-pool Muta build, and he got there before the cannon was done. Yeah, that was against Best. Was it Where though? Is the question? No, it's that same. Is it? Yeah, no, it's the same Zerg that was in Mines group. Okay. So this Zerg that I just can't remember who it is. Why can't I remember? It's so weird. But let's not, that was like the very quick Muta and Scourge getting there before a cannon's up.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah. I remember this.
Remember that game? Kind of disappointing for Best, but he did come out in the end.
Well, I mean, it goes to show you that.
Oh, it was Calm. That's it, Calm.
Yeah, good call. Good call. I would never have got it, actually, if you not
so
thought
yeah,
it.
they rematched.
I'm so bad
or
at stuff
who was
like that. People are like, Tasos, name 3 maps that were used 2 years ago in GSL. I'm like, oh my god, I am not good at this kind of recall.
Yeah.
But what that game really highlighted was, okay, yeah, actually, as much as we're talking about, for instance, Zergs have a hard time against Protoss, there are ways to win. That was a way that Zergs won 15 years ago. It looked exactly like that. Mutas and Scourge come in and just hit you with this time and attack before you're really able to get up and off the ground. So we have Mini now with his cybernetics core nearly done. 99% chance he gets a Stargate. We haven't really seen anything other than that.
I can't even imagine.
I'm trying to imagine a world where it would somehow be good to not have a Stargate right away, and it's not coming to me.
Goes right into a Reaver drop. Flies into 2 Scourge on the way.
Blow it up. Yeah, let's see. Is there ever any reason? Could you do something like?
Yeah, no. Here's what
Zealot
it is.
Archon into Speed Shuttle. That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, no. Listen to this, right? Though I think there is one situation.
Yeah.
Where you would go just like quick Reaver or something, and you'd probably do it on just one base. It's if like Tasis, you were playing against Sulky right now, and you're like, okay, the only way I can win is if the stars align. So like, you're like, maybe he'll go Hydra, and I'll catch him with a Reaver and blow up 4 Hydras with 1 Scarab and win the game.
Something like that.
It would be just the sickest, risky, weird, stupid move. But he gets the Stargate, of course, and the Spire, I think, has to go down for Zerg, because you have to start on your carapace upgrades, your flyer carapace. Whether you want to go Hydras or you want to try to make Mutalisks, probably what we'll see from Sulky is a Hydra's Den as well, and then the carapace upgrades and some Scourge. That's my guess. You can go Muta Scourge, of course, but it's just scary, man. The Corsairs rip you apart so hard.
Okay.
So up to 4 hatch.
Yeah, Zerg's powering up. The original island maps had only 1 base in them, and I think that was the beginning of the problem.
Yeah.
That was before we really understood, Zerg needs another base. If you're 1 basing a Zerg, you better win that game fast, buddy.
Yeah.
You better have killed almost all their probes.
Yeah, it's very true.
Because you're going to lose. And so this time it's actually not 1 but 2 extra bases that you get, although 1 is it's like a half base.
Yeah. Well, it's got the gas, so that's basically what Zerg is looking for right there.
Some awkward mineral patches there, but
yeah,
you're not like, 3 mineral patches, I want to get that. What they need is a super probe to mine from that giant mineral patch on top of that gas in the base.
Yeah.
It's like a probe the size of an Ultralisk.
Oh my god.
Bringing back a crystal the size of a science vessel.
That's the scariest thing that you have ever said.
500 minerals. Imagine that.
I will have nightmares tonight about a probe that large.
Yeah.
I imagine how hard it would be to get my factory done under those conditions.
So, Overlord is taken out.
Yeah, he scouted what was going on as well. He saw the Spire. Doesn't look like we have any Hydralisk Den quite yet.
I'm sorry,
Scourge will be controlling there, though.
I wasn't actually, I didn't check when I was talking about, I was kind of vamping on island maps in general. Did he see the second Stargate?
Oh, did Sulky? No.
He did
Sulky
not,
does
right?
not know
Okay.
yet. He will fly in and figure this out, though. His Scourge are coming up. They're going to start poking in, seeing.
Okay, so he'll see it now.
Yeah.
So this is very common to scout with the Scourge, because that way, if you bump into something like a Corsair, you can at least try to chase it away.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to get some spores up now. He sees the double Stargate. Definitely, you got to be a little bit wary because once they get through your outer defenses of Scourge and whatnot, they can clear your Overlord so quickly, especially with double Stargate. It's like he's getting +1. He's about to have 6 Corsairs here. He has 5 already.
I feel like Zerg can actually beat Protoss the same way that we saw Action beat Sharp in the last game. You know, Corsairs are scary, absolutely.
Yeah.
But with Zerg having extra bases on this map, you can get enough Mutas and Scourge that you can probably drive away Corsairs or at least whittle them down enough where they can't stop a Hydra drop. Now, Corsair Reaver has been used on and off of island maps a lot. It's sort of an alternative way that the matchup can unfold. It's up to the Protoss to decide that it will go that way. But we've seen it before, and generally speaking, Protosses tend to lose. They have won. There have been very important games where you will see Corsair Reaver win, but generally speaking, it's deemed probably not as strong as a more generalized play.
Yeah.
On island maps, you can be forced into it, but the problem is that Zerg a lot of times can take control of the entire map when you're going Corsair Reaver. Even if you're dropping in these key locations and taking stuff out, you're not running over the Zerg. You're blowing up specific areas, and a really, really, really top-tier Zerg is going to probably be okay. And I'm wondering here if this game, it's starting to look like it. If you see with the Scourge and the Mutas, are we going to have Scourge and Mutas just chase back the Corsairs? Assuming that the Corsairs are not, do not have the best engage ever, I would imagine a Hydra drop closes it out.
Well, he's not going Hydras yet. He's really massing up quite a few Mutas, and I think he's also very much waiting.
Oh,
that's
like
a catch.
as bad as it can get, bro.
Wow. But he's waiting for his +1 carapace. Absolutely. That's like, must be what he's banking all this on. He's already expanded now. I guess he knows that eventually there will be a fight, and if he can spread everything well and come in, I mean, you can still wreck a huge Corsair fleet. And there you go. He's got that +1 carapace. But look at how many...
This is really bad.
Oh, my God.
This is so bad. So the Scourge have to come in at the right angle!
Oh, my God. He actually gets a decent amount of
Whoa,
Corsairs. Okay, so the moving shot is real, man. The Scourge are right on their tail as well. He's going to lose another one for sure.
Well, he could actually probably... Oh, my God. He actually just turns around. Woo! Good control, actually, by the Protoss.
Yeah, not bad.
That was fantastic. But it's worth pointing out, right? The Corsairs come in. They actually killed off, I believe it was 10 Scourge.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And still, the Zerg manages to drive them out. Corsairs are very scary, but the armor upgrade makes such a big difference. Air to air with Protoss.
Oh, God. It's just gigantic. That's why he was, like, really kind of sitting back. And, I mean, you need to continue on your air upgrades. The Corsair Splash is out of control if you don't get +2 carapace, then +3.
So this is kind of funny. I actually thought that we were going to have a ground transition. Like 100% I was sure about that. But it seems like right now he wants to stay on Mutas and Scourge for a while. And he just wants to win the air fight. And I think this is smart. I see what he's trying to do. If the Mutas can take out the ground, I mean, it's not like there's going to be a ton of cannons out yet. He just has to win the air fight.
Yeah.
And that's another way to do it. I'm not saying that it's necessarily better than going for the Hydras, because I think there's viability in both. But this is an alternative approach that I'm really pleased to see Sulky's using here.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that kind of flavor. And Sulky's the type of player that can probably pull this off. But I like Mini's approach as well. He's still massing the Corsairs. He's got a good 9 or 10 of them right now.
Well, here's the way that Mini can beat this. He keeps winning with Corsairs, but he gets his cannons up. If you get the cannons up, then this doesn't matter. Okay, really good control here by Mini. Whoa. And in fact, the angling, if he can keep these Corsairs more pointed towards the lowdown, okay, I guess he wants to stay away from other Scourge coming in.
Yeah, if there's a big Scourge flank, that's how he loses the game.
Right.
If he just keeps massing and, like, gains more expansions and stuff, I think that's a better play. Oh my God.
Okay, Zealot Reaver drop
Scourge
here.
pop out as he comes in. It's like, oh no.
Now he's got the Corsairs just out of range. Well, he sees him now. Now it's all going to be about the angling. Oh my God, Mini is getting the best trades you could really ask for, to be honest. Okay.
Oh, well, here the Scourge come, actually, and definitely get quite a few, but that's quite a lot left over. 7-8 Corsairs left.
Okay, now this is a little bit ambitious here from Mini, but he's actually doing a great job targeting. Look at this. He's going to try to go for the Shuttle and Reaver. Wow. Okay, so Mini actually has the opening. He needs to keep pressing and ideally keep hitting and killing drones. I think this might have been a mistake here for Mini to chase this because, yeah, for sure the Scourge are going to come out and take that out. But
are they going to find a home, though, Tasus? I don't think so. He's going to get out of there.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Oh!
All right, not a bad Scarab, actually. I thought that one might...
Oh, one more.
All right, still, that was a good 7 drones.
My bias is coming out.
Yeah.
I'm like, one more, come on, you can do this.
Well, everyone wants to see a good Scarab connection.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so satisfying. But now Mini, he has his base set up. His Corsairs have been really cost efficient. He's cleared out quite a few drones. Really stopped mining for quite a bit. Sulky has taken a couple more bases, though. So, kind of like you were saying, this type of strategy, you definitely... You can win your little fights, but you are not running anything over.
It seems
to kill someone with a Reaver takes a very long time.
Yeah. I have to say, though, I think that Mini's kind of navigated his way out of the hard part of this build that Sulky's going for, because he's got cannons up at that base. Mm-hmm. He's got an additional gas. He can keep expanding. As long as he sneaks cannons in here, the Muta's comboed with Corsairs. I'm sorry, the cannons comboed with Corsairs can basically beat Scourge Muta.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. Yeah. And that's the same factor on Island map. When you see Scourge and Muta's on the map, you just get more cannons and you just keep making Corsairs. You play a little bit more passively because you know in the long run, in a ground game, you're going to win. And that's the phase that we're in now. There's enough gas that he can keep getting Robos out, making Shuttles and Reavers, because the Shuttles are obviously just minerals.
Whoa!
Nicely done. Another big drop comes in.
Yeah, some Zealots as well as a single Reaver there. Oh my God, he just keeps killing off the Scourge. They both have +2 at this point. So staying very even in these upgrades as of right now.
Oh my God, Sulky just getting mowed down. Did we actually see Scourge come out and glitch and die because they were shot so fast?
Well, yeah, they came out and died instantly, basically.
Not even a sound effect for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when things hatch from eggs in Brood War, they can die so quickly. Hold on. Yeah, you know, he just has enough.
And then he loses it.
Yeah.
Loses down to 2 Corsairs. So, I mean, that's significant, but he cut a base during all this. Looks like that Reaver drop is going to go further now.
Oh, my God. All right, good connection. Just getting whatever else he can get. Now, there's a lot of attention being given over here. Wow, man, look at this. This is crazy.
Yeah, 4 Stargate. But Greater Spire is on the way right now. We saw a Zerg previously wait for +3 carapace before going Greater Spire, whereas Sulky has decided to just go ahead and get that Greater Spire. I actually like that a bit more, even though +3 carapace is super important. If he gets out, because he just reduced the Corsair count quite a bit, if he gets out a few Devourers, he can really start to rail on these.
Yeah. So, we have the Scourge continuing to be in pursuit now. I feel like Sulky's going to lose this one, Artosis. I think in the long run.
You think so? I think that he actually, when he has Devours, and then obviously you can make Guardians at the same time, right?
But what if Mini gets Scouts?
What if he does? Well, I would be just tickled pink if he got Scouts and then killed all the Devours. I would
that
love
just be amazing?
That would be amazing,
All
yes.
right.
Let's
do it, Artosis.
Yeah, let's do it. You and me. Well, Mini has to do it, but you and me are going to do it.
But you and me are on board. If he goes for the Scouts.
I'm totally down with that. The thing is, I haven't seen that actually be successful yet. But we're going to see Devourers, so we'll see. He's got 4 Stargates. He's got a Fleet Beacon. He absolutely can do things like get Scout Speed, an important upgrade. And, of course, the best upgrade in the whole game, Scout Range on Vision.
Oh!
That's Vision Range, everybody. You make your Scouts see further, because clearly you're supposed to scout something
it's in the name.
As expensive as a capital ship.
Yes. Wow.
He kills a base. Mini is looking very good.
The thing is that even if he gets Devours, I'm wondering what happens when you just have like 3 control groups of Corsairs.
I think the Devourers can still kill you. Like, I think Devourers are pretty sick.
I don't know. You know, this is it's kind of funny. It's like when we have these PvPs where they start going Corsairs, and we sort of never really seen fights like this. We don't really know what it's supposed to look like or how the game is supposed to go.
It's just they have so much armor. They have 2 starting armor plus the 2 carapace. Well, he's gonna have plus 3 carapace.
Bro, listen, bro. Yeah. This is when you treat those Corsairs like they're Scourge, okay? And you got them spread out in every possible angle, okay?
Yeah.
They're flying in from over 180 degrees, hitting everywhere.
360-degree flank. There's like ones that are unburrowing. You're dropping them out of shuttles on top.
It's crazy. It's called 360 no scope Corsair.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, he's coming from all the different sides. There it is.
The mutas are actually 2 hurt now.
Look at this.
Okay, they're coming in. They're trying to get damage, but they've been softened so much.
Look at that. That's what happens, Artosis.
It's only 3 devours, Tasteless. This one doesn't count.
Nope.
This one doesn't count, okay?
Dude, he's not gonna be able to get more
When things don't go my way, they don't count, Tasteless. I don't know if you know this about me.
Dude, look, he's actually he's gonna lose these other bases. Yeah.
Sulky's losing everything. Look at how many Corsairs there actually are.
I love that because Zerg's been doing well in this map. I'm suddenly I'm justified and acting excited that a Zerg's going to lose on an island map. It's a process. I'm like, good, now we finally know how to beat these stupid Zergs. They can stop saying that they're better than us just because they beat us on an island map.
Jeez.
D-Web, GG. Ooh, mini.
All right, this was a really cool game, actually. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Definitely blew that first game out of the water. That means Mini is going to go up against Action on Transistor. And then, of course, one of our last 2 Terran players left in the round of 24 will be hitting Sulky on Transistor. That'll be, you know, well, I think Sulky is favored against just about everyone, so that could be a tough one for Sharp.
All right.
Yeah, really well played by Mini. I think he made some hard choices a couple times where he turned around with Corsairs and you know, he was really focusing on getting those cannons up. Some good micro pulling his Corsairs way to the side, especially when his cannons were warping in at that first expansion. I thought that was a critical moment. Yeah, that was a cool game, though. I like StarCraft.
StarCraft is a good game.
Yeah, StarCraft
to watch. It's a good game to play.
Yeah.
It's an all-around good game.
I should go to a commercial break.
We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, more StarCraft. Action versus me.
We got love, we got love, we got love. We got love, we got love. I know what you must be thinking.
Prolonged one-man rule. And then 4 months passed. Now, it's our turn to laugh. ASL Season 5 Turnaround.
자, 최대한 거리를 벌려주는 플레이가 좋았었던 김승현 선수였는데
들어가서 여기서
지금 꼬리가 좀 잡혔었죠.
김성현 선수도 어느 정도 발키리가 모인 상황이라면은 발키리를 뮤탈리스크가 지금은 숫자가 좀 많이 줄어서 뒤로 도망가는 상황입니다.
발키리 하나 좀 남아있는 상황에 들어가 좀 싸우는데요. 지금 방역돼 있고
역할도 지금 없죠. 이게 공속과 이 속도도 좀 늦춰준 상태에서 싸워야 되는 건데 퀸이 세트 2개나 지었는데 퀸 2개가 뭐 아무것도 안 하고 말이죠.
그렇죠.
수비 라인을 견고하게 하는 편이 좋을 것 같습니다. 오히려 이쪽에다가 지금은 터렛 건설을 해가면서 이곳을 뺏어먹겠다라는 의지를 지금은 보여주고 있거든요. 하게 지금은 터렛을 이어가면서 한두열 선수 어이구 SCV로
이건 이게 치즈로시가
이거는 철거단이죠, 철거단.
이게 뮤탈리스크로는 멀티 공략하고 다시 스커지로 상대방이 오면서 조금 약간 속도가 느려지게끔 하기 위해서
와, 좀 많아요.
예. 엄청납니다. 이 캠페인 영상에서나 보던
네.
이런 장면 같아요. 뮤탈리스크와 스커지 그다음에 디바우로 오버로드까지 지금 한꺼번에 충돌을.
예.
와, 이게 거의 저글링들이 이 정도 뛰어다녀야
그렇죠.
정상인 건데
네.
이 비싼 유닛들이
뭔가 컨트롤을 보여줄 필요도 없이 그냥 자원력으로 지금은
와.
찍어 누른 겁니다.
네.
아, 이게 뭔가 싶을
하늘을
겁니다.
덮어버렸어요.
예. 이래놓고도 아직까지
CJ 한두열 참았습니다. 자신의 대규 물량이 갖춰지기 전까지는 얻어맞으면서 자원에 집착했어요. 그 결과 이렇게 대부대를 만들어내면 승리를 따낸 거 아닙니까?
네.
저
여기서.
배럭으로 좀 유혹하고 있는데
맞닥뜨렸어요.
자, 눈치챘어요.
네.
자, 두 개. 여기
개입니다.
셔틀 두 개. 자, 내려서 먼저 내립니다. 자, 여기서 8구이 드랍.
그 지상 병력이
네.
어느 정도 힘을 합쳐도 지금 수비를 해야지.
네.
자, 프로모가 지금 비비기 힘든 위치에 지금 떨어져가지고요.
거리 유지.
네.
자, 이게 그렇죠.
오, 골리앗 두 개 더 내렸고.
네, 데미지가 좀 크네요.
네.
이 상황은
자,
한 번의 스캔업으로 HP가 좀
와,
아케이드도
이걸 지금
야 중간에 짧은 동선을 기다렸다가 셔틀 지나가면 요격하려고.
네.
근데 거기가 아닙니다.
안 가요.
예.
리버까지 있어서 좀 까다롭거든요.
네.
예.
그래서
자,
저기 아이고
아.
상대가 지금 모아놓은 유닛으로 역습으로 올 가능성이 있기 때문에 시간 버는 거예요. 시간 버는 거.
고!
시간 벌면서 데미지까지 주면 금상 쳐맞죠.
네, 드랍십 하나 좀 보냈거든요.
큰 피해를 주지는 못했고.
네. 자, 노래 와, 복수.
네.
이게 리버 두기 화력 세 개.
세 개예요. 한 기당 하나씩.
예, 머리 위쪽으로 지금은 떨어지기에는 상대방의 그 받치고 있는
화력이.
공격도 많기 때문에 못 막았어요. 지금.
쪽에 신경을 쓰지 않으면서 지금 빙 옆구리를 잘 찔렀고 와, 셔틀
보세요.
네 개나.
이 물량 보세요, 물량. CJ 장윤채 자원 욕심보다는 병력을 모아서 셔틀의 병력 싣고 들어가서 쐐기를 맞고 경기 끝났어요.
2018 AfreecaTV presents ASL Season 5.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to Game 3. No more island maps.
No.
Although that second island map game was awesome.
Yeah, it was
I
really
almost for a little bit had forgotten what happened in Game 1 because Game 2 was so engaging and awesome.
Yeah.
So now we have Action versus Mini here. Almost said AfreecaTV versus Mini. I'm like, that's right. The entire stream is against it.
No. That's ASL right now. AfreecaTV against Flash.
Yeah.
But yeah, Action versus Mini. I mean, I'm excited to see the game. Action definitely has some pretty strong ZVP. His light game's really good. What is this game going to look like? We've seen really kind of strange games on this map so far. A lot of people are attempting all-ins.
Yeah.
In fact, the more I think about it,
I think almost
every
every
game
game's
we've
been an
seen
all-in.
here, at least one player is doing an all-in. Some of them have worked, some of them haven't.
Well, this happens a lot on new maps, especially when there's multiple entrances. It seems like the Protoss does have a lot of problems just trying to get their feet off the ground to start things off. That happens on the most boring vanilla maps as well, but there seems to be a lot of exploits. That being said, if Zerg overextends and does too much and fails early on, it's usually a pretty easy course to take for the Protoss to close it out with a victory.
Yeah.
So perhaps Action overextends. And you know what? Action grinds a lot. Maybe he doesn't have any kind of aggro games on this map, but instead bring something pretty macro. Let's find out.
Attention.
ASL Season 5.
Yeah.
Turnaround.
Rise up, never run down, never go back, never gonna run. There can only be one. Blood, sweat, and tears. On to get
So it's Zerg in the center left, Protoss in the upper right. It should be noted, the center left starting location has, it's a little bit weirder and more different than the other two.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what's better or worse, especially because I personally, as a commentator, am not quite comfortable on this map.
No,
this is one of the maps where I'm still kind of feeling out.
Yeah, I need this to be on the ladder.
Yeah,
be able to play
I
it
hope they
some
do put
myself.
some of these maps on the ladder as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to.
Before some kid goes, is just yelling at his monitor, "No, Tish, you're wrong." You can veto it.
Yeah.
All right.
can absolutely veto it and just play Fighting Spirit for the rest of your life.
That's right. If you want to just be so good on Fighting Spirit all day long, man, you know exactly where all your buildings go on Fighting Spirit.
Yeah.
That was the best map. There's no reason to ever change.
And then you can also complain about balance, because all you do is play one map.
Yeah, you play one map. You're like, don't you just think the Terrans get their third bases up a little bit too easy on this map? And you're like, okay. Okay, buddy. You know, they were people that were always like that. Like kids like you. You know who you are if you're watching the stream. You're getting a little bit uncomfortable. Your butt tightened a little bit. You got a little bit nervous. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't like it that Taze is talking about me specifically.
It is you specifically.
It is you specifically. You're not the only one. There's a couple other ones like you.
Yeah.
I know kids like you.
You and your people.
You played only on one map. There were kids like you 18 years ago, still playing on Lost Temple.
There'll always be kids like you.
You'd load up another map, maybe an island map, Dire Straits. You'd load up an older map, Boneyard. People would say, oh, it's not Lost Temple, and leave the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Then guess what? Tournaments started coming around. They started having these different maps. Some of them were bad. Some of them, one was called Jungle Story.
So.
It was a horrible map. But whatever. You were 60-5 on Lost Temple.
Try taking your
with the
third
kids
base
who
on
still played that map. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right? Maybe, what are you, the best bullfighter in Greenland, kid? All right? It's not an impressive feat.
Jeez.
That's all I'm going to say.
To even throw a bullfighter in Greenland might be a little bit of an impressive
I don't even know if they have bulls in Greenland. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I know they're running out of ice.
I don't believe that they do. Well, they're definitely not running out of ice. Ice is melting. Greenland is not running out of ice.
Well, it's getting lower, Artosis.
Yes.
Stay on point. Stay on point, Artosis. What are we talking
Listen,
about?
when we start talking about glaciers, man, that's when I'm going to come in and fix every little thing you say.
But yeah,
my great passions.
I would love to see some of these maps rotated in and out of the ladder. I would actually love to see them do some kind of map of the week or 2 maps of the week where you get a little bit more points. So it encourages
like IC Cup
people.
Here's
to do that.
Here's the problem with that. No one ever played the weird maps that were map of the week on IC Cup unless it was a good map, like a pro map.
Oh, I played all of them.
Yeah, but it was like you and the guy that you played against. I never got a game on any of the weird maps.
Really? People avoided it?
Never, ever would I get a game on any of those maps.
It was just 1v1 Python?
Well, it would just be like the maps that, if it was like in the pro leagues and considered reasonably balanced, those were the only maps people would play.
Protoss is pushing out one Zealot along with the probe, but due to the opening that we saw here, it's a little bit trickier. By the way, this is kind of cute. The pylon down there to draw some of the lings away.
Huh. What was that for exactly?
Well, Zerg doesn't want to expand up.
Oh,
so Zerg, it looks like Zerg would always want to try to, depending on, like, starting locations like this, Zerg actually tries to expand down and to the right.
Of course.
Whereas, and so he puts a pylon down there. Now, that did not seem to be particularly effective.
No.
But I don't know. I mean, PvZ is funny. And the more you learn about it, the more things that don't seem like they matter or do that much have crazy impacts all around. Like, this is, I think, actually out of all the openers in the game, on both sides, there's so much fine-tuned moves that you have to do. Sometimes it's okay to lose several Zealots just because you had to make enough lings, even though it looks like it was such a one-sided fight. And units tend to go in and out of having equity throughout the game. So the fact that these lings are hatching means that there aren't drones being made. But there's a real balancing act. It's a real tightrope walk because you have to have cannons back at home. You have to have all this stuff there. I don't know. This is like, there's so much to unpack with this. But maybe in fact, having that third hatchery delayed by that pylon adds up to a lot more than we would ever realize.
Well, he's in here with these Zealots. He's chasing some drones.
By the way,
trying to get kills.
This is actually crazy that
pulls.
these Zealots have not died yet.
Yeah.
This is like insane that they haven't died yet.
It's also insane. I don't think a drone has died yet.
Yeah. This
and
fight's
he has
gone on
really been trying to get a drone. I believe he killed no drones. That's legit.
Wow.
Legit defense.
So,
by the way, Mini's APM is wildly high. Look at that, over 400.
Yeah. I love it when it's over 400 and they're just inside their base making buildings, but...
Yeah. It's wild. You definitely don't need it.
People get, like, really excited. Look at that.
Stark has shown us you can win the OSL with 250, man.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
Yeah, no, it's actually okay to have low APM. I remember when we first started casting StarCraft 2 and we had the APM ticker, man. And sometimes people would come up to me, well-intentioned nerds, okay, fans of the game. They'd be like, why don't you guys just show the APM right at the start of the game? Because, I mean, sometimes they're going at like 500 actions per minute. I'm like, but what are they doing?
Yeah,
they're not doing anything.
They're just spamming.
Do you want me to just sit down and show you 500 actions per minute on this keep computer right over here? Yeah. I can do that. That's not a feat. And it's also interesting to see when some players' APM actually dips at very important moments, which does not mean that they're bad. It means they're having to do some kind of play that requires a lot of surgical precision, like Reaver dropping.
Sure.
Reaver dropping, your APM tends, besides spamming make scarabs, tends to go down.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I could see how that could be the case. That is
well, you're just like,
yeah.
you have to be ready to unload at the exact moment.
Yeah.
Like
and
then you have to be watching and like know the right moment to right click, or you want to bait the shuttle in. It's generally not a spam fiesta.
I could definitely make Protoss jokes about that, but that's really cool, actually. That's really fascinating, because I'm trying to think of a time where your APM goes down as Terran. I guess there can be very precise moments where you're like waiting to target
Maybe if
one
you're trying
thing,
to surround certain things with vultures, with mines. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I don't think it ever really goes down generally, but I totally see what you're saying with the Reaver drop. That's interesting.
I mean, there are still fast Protosses who are fast with the Reaver, but in my experience of watching players play, generally that's the rule.
It's fine, Tasis. You're not gonna back it up.
All right, I just want you guys that are watching to like me and think I'm cool.
Well, some of them think that, and some of them don't, and you can never change their minds, so that's fine. That's a lot of Zealots,
I just want you guys to like me. I want you to think I'm cool, but I don't have a lot of hobbies. So the Zealots...
Is that what makes people think you're cool, is having a lot of hobbies?
Yeah, man. I want to be interesting, but...
Oh, I'm the least interesting nerd in the whole world.
yeah.
Jeez, it's like you're talking about me, but replace that with StarCraft. So, guys, I don't know. I just don't like anything else.
Yeah.
People think I'm cool or something, and no, man, I just want to watch and play these games all the time.
Okay, so the Zealots are coming.
That's why I have no friends.
Now, this is a pretty cool timing, and the angling is very important. So Zergs nowadays are so good at turtling. What? You got to make out of the eggs.
Oops.
Okay, normally the egg starts and the Zealots bounce out of there. But the fact that the Zealots actually got in is huge.
Well, he's actually holding it all right so far. Ooh, some Zealots actually coming up here. But that's a decent amount of Hydras as well.
Did he kill all the Zealots in the other base? Oh, no, he did
not.
No. No, he didn't.
I don't think he's been losing any drones yet, though, which is definitely something to point out.
Hold your breath, Artosis.
Yeah, that's going to change. Or is it?
Or is it? Is it, though? More Zealots are coming in. I actually think we're at the tipping point, man. If you break them right like this and you start getting Zealots in multiple locations, you can begin to win the game. It's really hard for the Zerg to get the Hydras in the right spot. Zealots kill drones so fast.
Yeah, they really do.
Like, these are +1 Zealots. I don't believe that the armor upgrade is a factor here. Wait, Zerg did not get armor, right? You get plus range attack with this. So, yeah, I mean, I think Mini actually is just going to, unless Zerg can stabilize, Mini should close this.
I think he's actually going to stabilize, but definitely he ended up losing a few drones there. But Action actually has like a really solid drone count still, and he has quite a few hatcheries. He's on 6 hatch, I believe, right now, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So
5. I think it's 6. Yeah, if there's a second hatch in the main, then it's 6.
Yeah. So I believe it's 6 hatch right now, and I mean there's going to be Psy Storm coming, so maybe he can finish it with that.
When you stop the Zerg from mining at that third, though, it's crazy how much it slows him down.
Yeah. I have no doubt that Mini did a very good job there. Can he actually finish from here, though? Or actually still
maybe. You know, there's this interesting point where he can kind of push in. If you notice, the Zerg's main is actually not turtled up. Like the ramp there, like you just walk up it.
Yeah.
And the like, okay, let's take Fighting Spirit for those kids that we were condemning earlier on for playing Fighting Spirit. They're gonna know what we're talking about. If you play Protoss versus Zerg on Fighting Spirit, you know that the Zerg can turtle up in just such a way you pretty much can't get into their natural ever, or that third base.
Ooh, he's trying so hard to get some of these high top players. Hey, he got 2 of them? That's not bad. That's worth the units that he lost.
That was sick. Now, the problem is, though, this location's not turtled up.
No, he's going to have a hard time
some kind of plan, so watch this.
Watch this Psy Storm.
Lightning beams.
Lightning!
Okay, coming up. Get ready for a shocking defeat.
So stupid. Oh, man. Well, I think that might be that.
My play is electrifying. GG. All right.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
Damn.
That's how you do it.
Mini crushing through this group, huh? That was well done.
Really nicely done. I feel for Action. I think a lot of this game goes back to this one moment where the egg did not start at that hatchery that's supposed to block the 2 sunken colonies.
Yeah, you got great surface area on those sunks immediately, and it was on the bottom part where the drones couldn't even interfere, so the sunks just went down. They really weren't worth what they needed to be.
Look at Mini. He's just... I believe him when he said he felt nervous and this was intense, but dude, he got out first in a group with Sulky.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I just saw
Can you
it.
pinch me? Am I dreaming?
Well, I'm going to pinch Mini if he doesn't go over to the interview area soon.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Action still has a chance to get out, let's not forget, right? Like, even if Sulky wins against Sharp, that's a ZBZ, so Action is not just out of this by any means.
Wow. Congratulations to Mini. I'm happy for him. He played some really good games against some very good players, honestly.
ESL 시즌5 24강 2조 경기 함께 하셨습니다. 16강을 가장 먼저 확정진 변현재 선수와 함께 하겠습니다.
We found out the first
축하드립니다.
player to make it to the round of 16. It's Mini. Congratulations. Thank you.
모습과는 달리 오늘 두 번의 저그전 완벽하게
Seems like
승리를 거두고
you were really
16강
nervous
진출
before the
지으셨습니다.
games.
소감이 어떠세요?
But you delivered. 2 wins, and now you're in the round of 16. Yeah, I didn't really expect that I would have 2 wins like this.
네.
And actually, I was expecting to meet Sharp on my way over here because
상대 첫 번째
I lost a lot of
경기
games against
다름
Zerg,
아닌
but I guess I got
김민철
lucky today and I managed to win.
이 상당히 요즘 기세가 좋은 김민철 선수를 상대로 굉장히 좋은
One of your opponents was
보여주셨어요.
Sulky, who's been on fire lately, especially in online tournaments. He's got a huge win rate.
멀티 기지에 많은 데미지를 입혀주셨는데 오늘 전략 좀 어떻게 준비하셨어요?
일단 제가 좀 아침부터 좀
Your shuttles with lots of drops did a lot of damage to those bases. How did you prepare?
챙겨봤거든요. 근데 항상 그
So I actually watched a lot of Sulky's VODs.
많이 가시던데 오늘은 좀 약간 레어를 좀 빨리 가시더라고요.
I was doing a lot of research with that.
그래가지고 커세어로 약간 간만 보려고 했는데 운 좋게 이제
I noticed he was going for a really quick layer.
경기 풀어 나가기가 좀 쉬웠던 것 같아요.
Fortunately, I managed to scout it well. I identify what he was going for,
끝까지 좋은 활약을 보여줬는데 좀 만족스러우세요?
and I'm going to try to, and I was able to counter that. So it seems like, excuse me, are you satisfied with your Corsair performance?
운영하기가 좀
And your Sky units in general?
오늘 승자전에서도
Well, since I had a lot of Corsairs,
두드러졌습니다. 생각한 대로 경기가 잘 풀려 가신 것
it
같아요.
helped me with my shuttles.
일단 성대 형이
I just was able to leverage air control with Corsairs to get the shuttles in.
좀 물이 올랐다라고 들었거든요. 근데 제가 이제 그 전에 게임을 했을 때는 항상 성게이트로 이제 제가 이겼거든요.
So I heard from a lot of people
운영적으로 갔을 때 좀 많이 졌는데
that Action's been playing really, really well recently.
네.
좀 약간 그 자신감이 그대로 있었던 것 같아요. 성대 형이 약간 못할 때.
But I'm very confident in my zealot control. So
이제 약간 좀 승자전에서 운 좋게 이긴 것 같아요.
네. 오늘 기세가
So I was just going for zealot strats.
엄청난 연습량을 자랑했던 김성대 선수 두 선수를 모두 꺾고 16강 진출하셨습니다.
So basically what he's saying is his zealot control is good. He was confident. He was able to win with that.
16강을 진출했는데 좀 하실 말씀 있으세요?
일단은 유난히 형이 좀 떨어진 게 아쉽지만 일단 저희 3인방 일단은
3 of the players that come from that random ability craft user map
Oh,
played a lot,
상당히
made it through.
올라가셨는데 저그를 만났을 때도
But
역시
since
좀
all
자신이
3 of
있으실 것
us
같아요.
are making it to the round of 16, I hope our 4th random ability map player will make it to the round of 16 as well. Thank you for catching that, Artosis.
Yes.
많이 말려가지고 약간 16강에서는 약간
When I was facing Zerg,
싸움을 하고 싶어요 저는.
조지명 씨는 어떻게 좀
Whenever I
마음의
have a little
준비를
mistake.
하고 계신가요?
저는
I end up losing.
둘이 있더라고요. 한 명은 영호 형이고 둘은 저그라 가지고.
I'm hoping to actually avoid Zergs in the future in this tournament. Any words you want to say to the seeded players?
이거에 대해 또 생각을 하고
I hope
조지명
Raid
씨가
picks
생각이
me.
드는데요. 마지막으로 앞에 가득 메워주고 팬분들에게도
I believe that.
He just went there.
제가 이번에도 약간
Any shout outs to your fans or people at the studio?
생각한 분들이 많을 텐데 이제 오늘 2승으로 진출한 만큼.
I know a lot of people thought I was going to get. I think I'm going to get eliminated in the round of 16 again.
부탁드립니다.
But for those of you who keep supporting me, I need your support.
감사합니다.
네, 이렇게
Congratulations.
해서 14강 2조에서
Thank you.
가장 먼저 16강 진출을 확정 지은 변현재 선수가
There we have it.
있습니다. 저는 잠시 후 패자조
We're never going to see a long game on this map.
진출자로 돌아오겠습니다.
No, it doesn't seem that way.
It's just so short. When we come back, we eliminate our first player. It'll be Sulky versus Sharp. Don't go away.
I could fly. I could fly.
A prolonged one-man duel. And then, 4 months passed. Now, it's our turn to laugh. ASL Season 5 Turnaround.
생명 연장했고.
저희 유저들의 수준이 너무 과소평가하고 있어요. 마음에 안 들어요.
작업 장벽이 없으면 시장 경제도 없는 거예요, 모든 게임에.
지금
너무 모르신다.
일단은 게임을 너무 안 하시는 것 같은 분위기가 좀
냄새가
느껴졌어요.
난다, 냄새가. 지금 유저 단계 얼마나 많은데. 열심히 하겠습니다. 빨리.
끝나는.
저 얼굴 눈빛이 달라졌어요.
안색 좋아진 거 봐. 안색 좋아진.
사기네. 유저 그 확률 조작. 확률가.
내가 나오고 있다. 내가 나오고 있다.
집에서도 혹시 그 손을 좀.
자, 이에 맞서는
협조한다는 거예요.
이제 피했어요.
기자끼리 피하자. 자, 스토킹 됐고.
전투력 책 빼놨는데 그거 잡으면 서버 영웅 됩니다.
네, 지금 채팅창에 BJ 됐고. 안 돼, 안 된다. 컨트롤 되게 좋은데? 여기서 아픈데? 너무 아픈데? 야, 밖에. 야, 이거
나가야죠.
뭐야, 움직여, 뭐야, 움직여.
뺨으로 무지개 노려봤습니다.
교통사고 당했죠. 근데 이분은 달라요. 우아인님은 막 떨는데 다 피해. 다 피하고.
Back from the dead.
시즌 6에서 꼭 만나요.
복설전 영원하라.
메이크업 좋아.
썰맨 한번 잡고 가겠습니다. 썰맨 한번 잡고. 와, 활용이 이렇게 되네.
왜냐면 여기 오는 분들은 다 화면 보고 오는 거죠.
그러니까요.
뭐 마지막 인사 같은데요. 떠나는 사람들 왜 그래요? 공설전 100시즌 반드시 이루어 드리겠습니다.
누드 톤으로 했거든요.
진짜요?
10,000명 가죠.
지금 근데 저거 보면 14?
자, 14. 잘 먹었어.
짝짝짝짝짝짝짝.
갤럭시 S 노트 리틀 에볼루션 한정판의 주인공이 되겠습니다.
있어.
남은 살수무님 있어.
올려봐, 채팅 올려봐.
We're back. We missed you. Oh, it's so good to be back with you again.
Yes.
And we have a crazy match coming up here. It's Sulky versus Sharp. especially on Transistor. I'm not sure how this is going to look. I think we could have our first long game.
We might. I think that it's pretty hard. I haven't seen any Terrans transition to mech here yet, but I haven't seen that many TVZs on this map. So that makes me think like, ooh, you're gonna try to beat Sulky in the longer macro game here with bio-based play. That could be tough. Sulky is the Zerg who does very well against Flash, and I guess Flash in his interview also said Hero was doing pretty well against him, but Sulky's right up there, right? Like this guy is a ZVT monster. So it's hard for Sharp. If he can eliminate Sulky here, it's not even over. He has to play another really great Zerg player on Gladiator.
Okay, map number 4 is ready. Let's go!
Attention!
ASL Season 5.
Yeah.
Turnaround.
So it's Sulky in that center left location, excuse me, and Sharp in the upper right.
Okay. See how this goes. Because of that, of course, Sulky has a whole bottom of the map where he can expand away from Sharp, which can be kind of nice. But I'm interested to see how Sharp really wants to go about this game. He's very good Terran player, very good aggressive player as well. Maybe he can get some magic here against Sulky, propel himself into that last match.
What if Sulky's eliminated? What
That's a
if,
huge upset.
That's so weird.
But that's
Sulky's,
like,
for me, in my head, is like top 4 right now in Brood War.
Absolutely.
He is so good.
Absolutely. That's been happening to Last a lot, though. Last is one of the better players.
Sure,
And
yeah.
he just keeps losing super early. So, you know, eventually you got to look at that and say, you know. Sulky, though, I mean, this guy, he's been making top 8s. He can make he's made a top 4 as well, I believe. I don't expect him to get eliminated, but this is still a tough road. You have to beat Sharp here, and then you have to win a ZVZ on Gladiator, and you know that can go wrong.
Yeah.
That's where he lost last season, was ZVZs took him out.
So, you know, we've had a lot of long games on Sparkle. We've had a lot of short games on Transistor. I feel like the fact that there are 2 ramps in opposite directions that allow access between your natural and your main, it's something that players are still trying to wrap their heads around and deal with, and it seems like a lot of times the aggressive player tends to win. In fact, I'm trying to think of a game where someone was defending and actually resulted with a victory. Every aggro play on this map is won, right?
No, Mind beat Calm with defensive play. Calm tried to make a mass Ling Flood into 2-hatch Muta, and Mind just sat back
good.
and defended.
No, good correction. No, you're totally right. Okay. But generally speaking, we've had a lot of...
So far, the cheesers have done well. The attackers, the aggressors, I guess, they haven't all been cheeses. Like, Mini's play that game wasn't cheese.
So let's see what happens this time around. Now, Sharp is going for a very macro style of play here. The Barracks is only just now starting. Keep in mind that the pool has just finished up here for Sulky.
Yeah, that's like a 12 pool or so.
So... it doesn't necessarily mean that this could end fast, but we need to see if he sends Lings out, because...
Well, this is a very, very fast gas with this. So let's see if he's actually just going to go into
quick layer,
or he's going to go into speed. I would imagine it's layer, yeah. Okay. That is a very fast layer. So probably just going to be straight up 2-hatch play. There are some fast gas 3-hatch builds, but this looks to me to be
now
the latter.
Just keep in mind that these Lings are coming out here. The Barracks isn't done. Even Lings without speed can do a lot of damage.
Now, it's 4 Lings, so he should be able to hold because his SCV is going to run into it. He just has to react very quickly. I think he's going to want to pull SCVs to the ramp. You don't want to chase this around.
No, you definitely want to block this off if you can.
Yeah.
You want to try to cycle the damaged SCV into the mineral patch. So
do a
watch
little
this
bit
one.
of repair
that.
as well. Yeah, that's very good micro so far. Ooh! A little bit of a misclick there. Ooh, so far, Sulky definitely out-microing. Sharp is not being quick enough with these SCVs, turning them around.
Okay, so these Lings actually... Oh, that's cute.
4 Lings just killed how many SCVs? 4 or 5?
4 or 5, yeah.
That is so painful. That is so painful. He did get Command Center first, And I mean, he's getting a very good scout off. He's going to see that it is a 2-hatchery Spire with very few drones right now.
So 2-hatch Muta. This used to be like the build for a little while. When people figured out Muta control, is you just came in there and did so much damage that a lot of times the Terran would just fall apart. Terran needs like 8 turrets in both command center locations. And when you look at just the wide area that you could hit this natural expansion with, Zerg players are licking their lips looking at that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very enticing base to harass.
You know, it is holdable here for Sharp, but he lost a lot of SCVs, so that definitely puts him behind a little bit. He's going to have to get his eBay out. He's a little bit slow on everything. You know, he lost a lot of mining time plus a lot of SCVs. He built a bunker that really isn't doing anything as well because it was only 4 Zerglings. He kind of overreacted and didn't micro well enough, so this is supremely sulky favored right now.
So
he doesn't even have an eBay. He doesn't have an eBay. He's just going to die, isn't he?
I feel like we're watching. You ever seen somebody like a car accident happen from far away?
Yeah.
And all you can do is think, oh no, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And time seems to slow down for a little bit. That's what this game is sort of looking like, is that Mutas are already on the way, and Terran is just not ready.
No.
Terran is still living in the past with that those lings going up his ramp.
Dude, his eBay is a little bit late. It just finishes. He needs to start his turrets right this second.
And he needs to start turrets in the expansion first. Very good.
Yeah, this is exactly where. Okay, you know what? Maybe he timed this out perfectly, actually. I guess I was going a little bit overboard. Those are going to finish just before Mutas get here, so that's actually perfect timing. And, of course, you start the turrets over here a little bit later. But even that middle area he needs to defend as well. This is tough. This is still going to be an uphill battle for him. But if he can make enough turrets that he just continually defends, the trick is you got to figure out, like, are they staying on Muta? Are they trying to transition at all? Because if they stay on 2-hatch Muta here and you don't have a radiate and you're just sitting on, like, 2 barracks making Marine Medic, not only do you have to micro Marine Medic well, you have to keep making some turrets because the Mutas will eventually whittle things down.
I want to point out a few important things here. So a lot of times you look at the 2 command centers and think, oh, Terran has 2 places to defend. Not really. Actually, Terran has 3 places to defend because this area at the ramp in the middle is quite vulnerable, you know, where the barracks are. And sometimes when Zergs are good at controlling, so it's this darted maneuver that's actually so scary for the Terrans to deal with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the Terrans will stim and attack forward, and it's like 1 or 2 shots goes off, and the Mutas just back up. So, and by the way,
like, you can't really fight him until range anyways.
I played Terran and tried to control against this. It's so hard, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to do. But I mean, it's something that you have to kind of figure out. There's like an art to moving in and out against this, but Sulky has, what do you call it? Like, advantage, but not that word. Why am I not being? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick today, actually. But, initiative, that's it. There we go. He has the initiative here, right? Like, he's controlling everything. You can't really see when he's coming in and out. He's really abusing Sharp. And the thing is, you can't even really micro against this until you have range, and everything was slowed down a little bit for Sharp as well.
One of the other factors when you see this Muta harass is that, and I think everybody knows this, but we kind of stopped talking about it or stopped acknowledging it, Mutas have glaives.
Yeah.
So when these glaives are bouncing and spraying into your army, you're just eating shots constantly. Now, Sulky went for the play where he has a second hidden batch of Mutas. And what he's going to do is he's going to dive in here again if he can soften up this position.
Yeah, when you get this many Mutas, you can just keep on rotating out some Mutas that are hurt and rotating in healthier Mutas.
Right.
And then the other ones are healing and everything, right? So he just keeps on bringing in this fresh flock. And over time, you are picking off turrets. We see him. He's getting an SCV. He's getting a turret. Another SCV, another turret. He's really not losing anything. And this is kind of what I was talking about before. Like, you have to identify that they're just staying on Mutas. Like, notice Sulky, he doesn't have a third base or anything. I don't want to call it all in, but it is in a way. Like, if you successfully defend these Mutas for long enough, you'll be in a good position as Sharp. But he's absolutely not successfully defending them so far. There's been a lot of damage done.
And you have to remember that you're just trying to get Terran to this breaking point. Yeah. If the turret and the Marine count gets low enough, then things snowball, like, hugely. And you can see with this many Mutas, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he even got +1 attack on them, so he's, like,
good. I didn't
super
notice that.
serious about the damage. Oh, a little bit of
He's
miss micro.
gonna let it burn down. Said,
And we don't see like very quick repairs on these turrets either. It is important if you can make it live even one more Muta shot. That makes a big difference.
Okay, this is actually huge. He's gonna go for the eBay here. The eBay is taking so much damage. These glaives are actually killing off medics and Marines, and he might actually just try to pounce in here on the main. He's also, Sulky's doing a really good job. It's subtle, but watch how he's making the Marines run around the mineral patches in the command center.
He's abusing the train
so that
hard.
as they come to a moment where they can fire at the mutas, they're in a line, and the glaives just eat through everything that's there. It's crazy.
Sharp is basically dead at this point. He doesn't have any additional tech. He's still sitting on 2 barracks. He lost his engineering bay, so he can't even make more turrets. Like, Sulky could bring all of his mutas together and attack the army of Sharp, and he would kill it. So that kind of shows you the type of lead he's in right now. It's massive and almost impossible to lose.
Woo! So when Terran does this, correct me if I'm wrong, Artosis, because you would know this for sure better than me as a Terran player. Do you want to right-click on a Muta? Or I mean A-click on a Muta?
Yes.
You don't want to just A-click anywhere, right?
If you let your Marines spray, you will never kill a single Muta.
Okay, yeah.
It's
GG.
You actually, so yeah, that was pretty one-sided, pretty straightforward. But to correctly micro against this, what you want to be doing is pulling away while they're pulling away and turning around when they're turning around. So you're kind of mirroring them. Pretend that you're Shadow Link from Legend of Zelda.
Okay,
right?
Got it.
And as the mutas come in, if you can stim, run forward, and target a muta, that's how you pick off mutas.
Okay.
Is you have to be running towards them as they're running towards you, but if you're chasing them while they're running away, they will do little kiting micro against you and just wreck your Marines. So either have the mutas far away or extremely close. You don't want that middle range. Anyways, he never could get himself even into that position. He took so much damage from the first 4 links. He had a very difficult time there, especially in his main base. Not enough missile turrets to force Sulky to think about harassing. Double think, I guess.
Another Terran bites the dust, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sad moment.
What can you do?
But hey, Sulky, I think he really was the better player in that game for sure.
Oh, yeah. He's better than Sharp. I mean, no salt here, man. Sulky deserves to get out of this group.
Okay, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, our final match. Stick around.
좀 가난한 이런 그 타입의 좀 빠른 공격이기 때문에 이후의 상황을 좋게 만들 수 있는데 지금 이제 들어가서 바로 확인하죠.
네, 위로 올라가서
지금은 들어오는 저글링 막아내는 게 중요하거든요.
네, 찬도현 선수 굉장히 지금 가난하게 몰아치고 있거든요.
엄청나게 지금은 앞마당 쪽에 해처리 하나만 덜렁 건설해놓고 본진에 있는 자원을 바탕으로
구멍 납니다. 구멍 나면 여기서 일꾼 자, 바리케이트 워!
네, 넓은 지역으로 뛰어다니지 못하게 해야 되는데 프로브 찍어 잡아주면서 지금 여기까지 들어오는 데는 성공을 했어요. 질럿이 지금 본진 안쪽에 출발했습니다. 드론 못 찍게.
이거 뭔가 싶을 겁니다. 네, 지금은 진짜 드론밖에 볼 게 없었거든요.
네. 판을 엎어놓고 있습니다.
그렇죠.
흙탕물을 만들어 놓고 있어요.
뭔가 견제를 원활하게 해야 될 타이밍에 와서 드론 2기까지 몸값 했어요. 3기 뽑아놓은 히드라로 상대방이 공격 오지 말라는 의미로 공격을 가야 되는데 자, 저글링 아래 위쪽에서 질럿 둘이 아래쪽에 빠져 있거든요. 그러면 한두열 선수도 데미지가 있기 때문에 어찌됐든 이 히드라에 여기 또 정돈해야 돼, 정리해야 되는데
저희 하나 들어왔거든요. 여기 대박
그러면 거의 이거 여기서 끝내야 됩니다.
네, 끝내야 돼요. 정리해야 돼요.
캐논 없을 때 노려야죠.
뒤가 없습니다.
캐논이 위치가
리버. 좁은 기록에서 리버 하나 대박이죠. 리버 하나 대박이죠.
장윤철이 리버를 타고
자, 리버를 타고 16강에 자,
자, 점사.
자, 이거 잡아야 돼요.
자, 리버가 지금 히드라가 좋은 포지션을 잡을 수 없는 상황이야.
저 힘든 상황으로 경기 좀 이어지고 있어요.
입구 쪽 좁은 입구에서 스캐럽이 때리기에는 진짜 좋아요.
때가 아니에요, 구호가.
자, 질럿 둘. 입구 쪽 막아줘야 돼. 입구 쪽 막아줘야 돼요.
질럿이 또 여기서 하나.
네.
이 힘.
한두열이 드디어
한두열 드디어 해냈으면 이번에 제 입구 쪽 돌파 저울리 흔들고 난 이후에 히드라로 세게 박았어요.
스타포트 투스타거든요.
이쪽 김상현 선수는
네.
팩토리 위주로 올리고 있죠. 네, 그래서 저는 독일을 견제를 하고 있는 상황인데
날렵한 컨트롤이지만 체력은 많이 빠져 있는 상황이고요.
팩토리가 늘어난 김상현 선수 더 많은 병력을 보유하기 시작합니다.
미리 이제 떠났었던 지상 병력과 힘을 합쳐서 상대방에게 공격을 할 수가 있어요.
네,
갑작스럽게
지금
나타난
레이스가-
레이스입니다.
네, 레이스 차이가 좀 나기 때문에 달려들 수가 없습니다.
네, 골리앗 그냥
먼저 시즌 모드
내주고
시즌 모드 골리앗이 있거든요.
네, 골리앗이 숫자도 많고요.
뚫리네요.
숫자 차이가 납니다. 레이스로 지금 위쪽에 있는 탱크 드랍십
네.
모두 다 정리가 됐고
자, 이거 좀 제거하기 위해서 일꾼을 동원하고는 있습니다만 이 손해가 막심하죠.
네. 그리고 크로킹이 개발됐다던 치더라도 스캔 2개가 계속 지어져 있기 때문에 레이스로도 지금은 진화할 수 없는 상황.
그렇죠. 제거 최재 상대방의 투타 작전을 막아내면서 역공으로 경기 끝내는 김성현 선수가 최종전에 올라갈 수 있는 기회를 얻어냈습니다. 윤찬희 선수 승부를 뛰어봤습니다만 실패로 돌아갔어요. 마지막 남은 소세지로
먹기는 먹어야 되니까요.
네, 그 아쉬움을 달래봅니다.
오. 이거 저기는 안 온다. 이거든요.
네. 그리고 프로브가 그 파일런의 반대편에서 움직이고 있죠. 네. 상대가 저 위쪽을 신경 쓰지 않을 수 있도록.
여기는
여기 저기를 보는 게 이상한 거예요.
예, 그렇죠.
그런데
야, 완벽한 계산인가요?
이게 와
등잔 밑이에요, 진짜 등잔 밑. 등잔 밑 로보틱스. 이야,
작전을 좀 준비하고 있는 모습인데요.
작전을 걸면 걸리는 걸리버.
오히려 과거에 많이 들어온 건데요, 이거.
짜증날 것 같습니다. 게이트도 지었어요. 건물 하나가 짓는 게 아니라.
이제 나오게 되면은 바로 쇼타임으로 이어질 수 있는데요.
다크를 막을 수 있는
나왔어요.
자, 빌드인데
걸어갑니다.
걸리버.
걸어가니는
자,
SCV
벙커를 깨면은 자, 벙커 깼어. 벙커 이제 시작입니다.
걸어가는
SCV로 못 비벼. SCV로 못 비벼.
야, 저기 앉아니까 좋댔네.
잡히는 걸리버
뚫었습니다.
장윤철의 승부수 오늘 준비한 작전은 걸리버. ASL은 다르다는 오늘 선수들이 작전으로
2018 AfreecaTV presents ASL Season 5.
One Zergling strumming on that guitar. We're gonna have a lot more coming up. I got nothing, man. I'm sorry. Sorry. I thought something funny was gonna come and it didn't happen.
Oh my god.
So
it's a moment the
We're
internet
gonna-
figures out Tasis isn't funny.
Yeah. Now I've been exposed.
He's like, no, I'm Time Bones. I'm funny, I swear.
Gosh, remember me? I can meme pretty hard. It's going to be Sulky versus Action coming up next on Gladiator. I actually think Sulky could lose here.
Yeah,
That's right. I
he
said
absolutely can.
I put it out
It's
there.
a ZVZ game. These can get pretty crazy. I mean, what is there to predict? Sulky is better than Action overall.
Yeah, but it's CVZ. It's so volatile.
Yeah.
Best of one. This is the one matchup where I really feel like you need to have more than you can't have best of ones in CVZ. It actually is.
He's pretty
StarCraft
unforgiving.
overall is to the point where like a better player can overcome a worse player in a game. ZVZ though.
This is one of the truly volatile matchups in StarCraft 1.
Even compared to StarCraft 2, it's like no, this is pretty much the most volatile match.
Unless you're Jaedong, man. Jaedong will take best of ones all day in this matchup.
All right, this is our last game. CBZ, Sulky versus Action. Let's do this.
Turnaround.
I always feel like this map, it looks like a pizza that was cut into so many slices.
Yeah.
And then kind of pulled apart.
Either that or it's like the town meeting of the game Asteroid. Like all the asteroid ships came in.
Yeah, I see that.
And they're all talking about whatever asteroid ships you talk about. They're like, wow, we killed all the asteroids. We're the best.
Those asteroids, you just need to watch out.
Yeah.
So, very important here is the Overlord pathing. It is Sulky going to the bottom right and Action going to the top right, which means that Sulky will find Action and see what Action's doing.
Yeah, it's a powerful advantage to start with.
It's powerful. It's not everything. There are little ways to try to hide. Still, even when they see what you're doing, if you can delay or move certain units some places, you can kind of mix it up.
Well, let's see when they make their pools and their hatches at this point. It's a pretty big map, 4 players, so wouldn't be the most surprising thing if they don't get those quick pools.
Zerg versus Zerg.
Oh, okay.
Kind of pass away. Sort of
yeah,
like
no,
this.
he's going
Pool goes down.
9 pool.
Now we got to see how many links does Zerg make. Will he go speed? Will he go lair? Links and mutas?
Probably both.
2 units you make in this matchup.
That's true.
You got to remember, drones and overlords, important
I can't wait till we get a ZVZ, though, on Sparkle. That's going to be awesome.
That actually will be really cool.
Yeah. Considering, like, all the Zergs are moving forward in this tournament, it should happen, right?
It's going to be a hatchery first on 12.
9 pool versus 12 hatch.
This is not good for our hatching first player. But Action has not scouted. Action could very well be facing off against a player who is doing an identical build to his. So we'll have to see. Does he send his lings out? He hasn't scouted his opponent yet.
Yeah.
But Action could just knock Sulky out of this match.
In fact, he's going to see what position Sulky's at. He knows the timing of this Overlord, that Sulky is in the bottom left. So now Action can send his lings exactly where they need to go. Yeah, man, he's going lings. He's making quite a few.
Can we get, I hope we get a shot of Sulky's face.
Oh, we don't even do it in the studio. GSL, we actually have their faces up on the big screen the whole time.
But we didn't. So, this is just going to be so hard. Zerg can rely on drone drilling. There's a reason why there's that creep colony being made in the location that it is by that extractor, because these drones can kind of act like a wall. Now, Action's going to show us the exact way to do this. So he goes for hatchery. I was wondering if maybe it's more viable to go into the main and get workers, but it looks like probably not. So he will cancel that and then send the drone out, or send it back to the main.
And both of them going layer from here as well.
Now, does this necessarily put Sulky into a bad spot? I actually think that he can still play it from here.
Yeah, he can play it from here, but
right.
You have to give Action the advantage, right?
Sure.
Because while the Sunken isn't like a bad structure to have, eventually you're going to want one. Control goes to Action. He has a lot more lings. He didn't have to buy any static D at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
And it's important to note the map that we're on. The lings are actually able to take the top of the ramp.
Yes, absolutely.
So
that's a big point.
Sulky can't actually get up there.
Congo line.
That's annoying.
Look, they got their little fingers on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually a back rub line right there.
I kind of like what Sulky has done here, getting the second hatchery in his main base. Right, he did kind of have that extra money because he was already making a hatchery and then canceled. But just the fact that he kind of realizes that this Zergling advantage will always be Actions from now on, the quicker second hatchery changes that. He can get a Zergling advantage. That is something that is a doable thing for him at this point.
Sure.
So yeah, I actually quite like that move from Sulky. It's a cool way to try to come back.
By the way, getting this wall-in set up like this is actually kind of tricky.
Ooh.
Every ling is important. Every ling counts.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 2-hatch muta play. It's going to be 2-hatch muta play from Action as well, but Action will be able to get his second gas up.
Well, yeah. That's a big deal. But with a quicker second hatchery from Sulky, he might just flood lings and utilize Scourge to try to keep mutas off of him. And I feel like that's the play for Sulky here. But
with that being said,
especially when you look at the gas count. I mean, look, he can't do anything except really go for. Ooh, he snuck you out. I like it.
He's on the loose.
Look how exacting this is.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's finding Zerglings that he can actually hit 2 Zerglings with. I love it.
Great control here. This scout is super important. But what Artosa said was very much correct. The Action has, well, he had 600 gas banked up. I believe his Spire finished, so he just started making some mutas.
Look at these 2 lings that are getting in. Kind of nice.
One ling goes down. More Lings spill through.
Yeah, Sulky kills off those Lings, and with his 2 hatch play now, he has that big Ling advantage. Sure, there's going to be some Mutas popping out, but if Sulky rallies in some Scourge, maybe he can get one. You know, like, let's say you have 3 Mutas or something. That's hard to kill Scourge with 3 Mutas, especially when you're trying to micro against these Zerglings and not lose a hatchery or drones. Look at this. Oh, almost lost that drone. Every drone really matters.
Yeah. I mean, if you get 1 or 2 drones, a lot of times we just go back to that moment and we're like, here's where you lost. Even, there's one.
Big kill.
But it looks like he's trying his damnedest to get ready for this Ling attack over here at the entrance of his natural. It's paramount that Sulky does a ton of damage here, since eventually Action can get a second gas up, and this just starts to get worse and worse and worse. So the Lings running through is going to be the way he's attempting to do that. Now, actually, this Muta moving shot has been pretty good, so I don't think these Lings are going to do much.
No.
But the fact of the matter is that Action has to chase these around. He can't just leave them unattended. A drone will die so quickly to Ling attacks.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah.
Gets another one.
Yeah, very good right there. And of course, Sulky is building up Mutas of his own during this time, but he shouldn't be able to catch the actual Muta count of Action, so that is an issue.
It should be noted as well, if there is some catch-up that occurs here. We may want to watch for the upgrades. Armor, Mutas always beat Mutas without that, and they also beat Mutas that get attack.
Yeah, I don't think either of them have gone for those upgrades.
I think you're probably right, and I think they might not because of how low econ this is, but just in case.
ZVZ has changed a little bit. Once upon a time, you'd see the Zergs really just focus on getting the carapace quickly, but people are really utilizing Scourge a lot now in the matchup, so I wouldn't be too surprised about that. Notice the Evolution Chamber going down for Sulky. He's realizing that he is going to be in a tough spot. He's got to take a couple of risks here, and if a Muta flies to his main base while his Mutas are out, that is a big deal. He'll be in trouble.
So don't be fooled by the fact that it's just Lings and Mutas that you see here, that this matchup is somehow simple. The amount of maneuvers and mind games that are going on, the possibility of counterattacks, how and when you engage, with what and how many of those units, is all a huge factor. Now, the Spore is very necessary here. Hold up. Okay, he didn't full-on engage. The Spore is very necessary for Sulky because if Action actually flies in when Sulky's moving around on the map, he can kill off all the drones immediately, and there's really nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Now, Action has his own problems by having 2 bases in of itself because it's 2 locations he has to defend. One from Lings, well, actually, I should say both from Lings, and then both from Mutas. And you only need to succeed on one of those fights for it to basically be effective.
Good prediction there by Action, realizing that the Mutas should hit the main so his Zerglings can hit the natural, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Sulky trying to get some damage, gets a drone, so that's something. His Ling's kind of running into the natural here. The Mutas have to go back, but if you're splitting this up, then Sulky can come back in.
Sulky going to try to come in once again. Now, every time that hatchery at the natural is unattended, it means that he's going to end up losing that hatchery.
Moving shot, man.
Yeah.
So much damage being dealt to Sulky.
Wow, that was really well done. But what about this hatch down here?
Yeah.
Nothing really to defend.
That's a good point. He's killing some extra drones. He might even be able to get the hatchery over some time. Definitely dealing some significant damage to it. Scourge chasing down some of these Mutas and do get a connect.
So, Action does manage to keep the hatchery alive, but it's low on HP. Ling should come in there and pop that in a matter of seconds. Later on. Now, Sulky is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 drones mining minerals.
Okay, I'm not sure how many are for Action right now.
It's low.
Certainly.
Sulky's whole game plan has been to try to get his opponent to even drone count. I wish we could get a shot of the main.
Look how low the money is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 drones mining.
Okay, and then 1 in the natural too.
Yep. So it's 6 for 6.
Yeah, but he does have the possibility to get that additional gas, and then he can start squeezing out more Scourge. And Mass Scourge definitely can do some big things in ZVZ.
I'd tell you right now, Scourge is probably the most important unit. They're so low on minerals, what else can they really try to get?
Yeah.
Kind of surprised occasionally to see Action actually stalking some of these. I guess in some ways, okay, this worked. Beat me to it. He's going to take out the hatchery with these Lings. This is really bad for Action. He was basically okay until he lost the hatchery.
Yeah.
When in the hell is Action going to have 300 minerals again to make a hatchery?
Never. It's not going to happen. But I believe he still has a higher Mutalisk count, so maybe he can make something happen. But don't forget, Sulky has already kind of prepared for this by making a Spore in his main base.
Correct.
But now he's got 2 hatches, so he can just produce more straight up. Look at this. He's even squeezing in some drones.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, it seems like Action already knew his opponent was going to do the same thing. and went back and made drones of his own. Very good reading here on both sides. I mean, these guys are playing a fantastic ZVZ.
Yeah, this is really cool. Still a little bit of a supply lead here for Action. Nice micro as well. These Scourge, of course, when they fly in like that, they're looking for a Mutalisk to pop to fly into immediately so it can't even run away. As they come out, they aren't moving, so if your Scourge are right there, you can get a free kill.
There's just funny animations, so as they come out, the Scourge just insta-kill the Muta.
So look at this. Action's letting his money bank so he can actually make another base. And we saw a drone from Sulky go towards the top of the map.
By the way, this
I
was
think
really
he's
good
going to
scouting.
go and hide and expand. Pretty far away.
I'm betting the upper left.
I'm betting it's going right where it's going here in the mid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, what about the upper right? No.
You'll take the middle. There's two gases. No tasteless.
So, taking a base up here is pretty smart. It's a further distance to travel. And if Action does go up there, Sulky can always counterattack into Action's 2 bases in the bottom right. So, again, a lot of mind games going on here.
Single lane being sent down, kind of scouting the path. A lot of units in the middle here for Action. This is mentally exhausting for both of these players. I do want to really point out, just because like you are really trying to keep everything in your mind. Where are the Zerglings? When can they run in? You have to keep your eye on the minimap the whole time looking for Scourge. You have to have the most precise micro. This flies in. He's got to get out of there. Sulky's really getting quite a flock of mutas.
Nice job. I was holding my breath there.
Ooh!
Actually shaves off a good amount of Scourge, but of course with the hatchery advantage for a little bit there, Sulky's going to try to just come in here and go on the hatchery, while Sulky's mutas come in here and actually connect a lot of those Scourge, hitting Action's mutas as well. But Action with the moving shot, definitely getting an advantage here. This might be the climax as far as taking out this muta count. Action's going to have map control. Pretty much half the mutas were picked off, and it's not ending. The Scourge are coming in. Sulky may get knocked out here in the round of 24.
Oh my God, Action with such strong play here. Those moving shots twice this game against Sulky. Sulky splitting his mutas, doing his absolute best micro. We're over his eggs, hoping something can pop out, but too much damage.
Whoa. Upset of the tournament, upset of this round.
Huge. Huge. Sulky going out in a Zerg vs. Zerg yet again. Really his Achilles heel. Of StarCraft. Like, this guy is someone that could have won last season, could have won this season, but no, both denied on the back of Zerg vs. Zerg. Action with some very solid play. Really cool to see this hard-working pro gamer go forward to the round of 16.
Beautiful play there by Action. I'm curious to see what his thoughts are after winning that. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Action did not qualify for the previous ASL. He did not honestly have a lot of hype around him. He had a lot of respect for pros because he trains hard. The bodies this guy's leaving behind as he moves into the next round of the ASL are pretty serious, Artosis.
ASL 시즌5 24강 2조 경기 함께 하셨습니다. 두 번째로 16강 진출을 확정 중 김성대 선수와
So we found our second player. It's Action. Congratulations. Thank you.
방송 경기였거든요. 와, 이렇게 또 ASL 첫 진출만에
So we haven't seen you for 4 years in televised matches.
우선
How do you feel?
옛날에 현역 때는 긴장을 엄청 많이 하는 편이었는데 오히려 그때보단 전혀 긴장은 안 되더라고요.
So when I was a pro gamer, I had a lot of issues with anxiety. Compared to my pro gamer games, I just don't get that nervous anymore. I did make some mistakes, that's for sure. I took a lot of damage, especially against mini zealots. That still frustrates me a little bit.
아니요, 처음에 질럿 찌르기를 너무 잘 막아가지고 상황이.
Were you expecting mini strategy?
3멀티 쪽에 썬큰 쪽 심시티를 해놨는데 그게.
I think I was actually in an advantage positionally. I just didn't realize the zealots were hitting that bottom base of mine.
마지막 경기 저저전에서는 사실 변수가
I think I
굉장히
need to be
많잖아요.
more vigilant in future games.
이 빠른 앞마당까지 정확하게 좀 예측을 하시면서 경기를 풀어 나가시더라고요.
아, 우선 솔직히 처음에 경기 이제 민철이 형 기다릴 때 왠지 민철이 형이 저한테 12합을 할 거는 같았어요. 근데 서치를 먹혀가지고
So during the break,
지면 안 되는 게임이었는데.
I was thinking about it, and I thought that Sulky would do a build like that. And so throughout the games, I thought, okay, Sulky's making a mistake here and there. His meter control is a little bit off.
오늘 김성대 선수가 예상한 대로 경기가 순조롭게 잘 풀려간 것
And I think
같은데
that's why I had a chance to take out a lot of his mutas. So that was really key for me winning. I think that's true, by the way.
아쉬울 것 같아요. 16강에서도 볼 수 있을까요?
A lot of fans were expecting to see your Defiler play. You're well known for that. Will we see that in the round of 16?
우선 오늘 개인적으로 무조건 2승
I think against Protoss I could pull off that build.
민철이 형이 그리고 저그 중에서 지금 거의 제일 잘하고 해서 같이 올라가고 싶었는데
I was hoping I could get out of the group as first, honestly.
떨어뜨린 것 같아서
And I was actually expecting to make it out of this group with Sulky. He's a great player. I feel a little bit sad that I had to take out another Zerg in my group. Are there any particular players that you want to face in the round of 16?
지금 솔직히 막 만나고 싶은 선수는 없고 솔직히 영호랑은 좀 높은 데서 한번 해보고 싶은 생각을
Honestly, there's no player I guess I want to face. Actually,
영호 같은 경우는
I think it'd be cool to face off against Flash in a much later part of the tournament. That's kind of a lifelong dream of mine. But I don't want to face him early on, honestly.
마지막으로 16강에 임하는 각오까지 들어볼게요.
You're a potential Royal Roader for this tournament. What are your determinations for this season of the ASL?
전역한 지 얼마 안 되고 빠른 기량 올라오는
Since I made it to the round of 16,
ASL 최선을 다해서
I want to show
좀 좋은 모습을
I want to bring back my heyday performance. I'm just going to keep pushing myself and working hard. So congratulations, Action.
24강
once
2조에서
more.
두 번째로
Thank you.
16강 진출을 확정 중
That's
김성대
it.
선수와 함께했습니다. 오늘의
That's it.
경기 결과
Well.
화면을 통해서 확인해 보시죠.
Another Terran bites the dust and Sulky out of the tournament. I'm sure all the really great players are looking at this group and saying, wow, very happy that Sulky gets eliminated. Sad, of course, all Terrans on Earth. Right now, we only have 2 Terrans in that round of 16. We do have a chance for another one tomorrow with C.
I know the players that watch this to try to get some good builds from Sulky are bummed out, but I think Action is a solid player. He's got a lot of promise.
Yeah.
Never underestimate guys like this. Guys that have been playing for a long time and maybe weren't that dominant. They come back. They're training hard. They're developing a steady fan base. Action's hungry.
Oh, yeah. He's never really had that success. You see so far the racial distribution. I mean, this reflects the way that I think about StarCraft so well, too.
Oh, I know.
2 Terrans, 6 Protoss.
Your view on reality is becoming a reality right now, Artosis. 2 Terrans are the only ones, and one was Flash, the greatest player of all time.
Doesn't even count
Then
as
it
a
was
Terran.
mine.
And he got here on a TBT.
The only guy who could probably navigate his way through these crazy maps because he's such a brainy player.
He's the only one that can navigate his way out of a paper bag here in these maps, man. But, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty rough. Our next group, though, on Tuesday, our last group for the round of 24. Don't forget, it starts 2 hours previous the time we start here. Not 7 p.m., but at 5 p.m. KST. And that's because we all have group selection right afterwards.
Correct. So, be there, be square, guys. You don't want to just tune in. You're going to be so excited. Oh, I'm going to watch Tastosis cast Broodwar. Boom, we're not there. It's group selection. Snarry.
So we have another chance for a Terran player. C definitely is a group that he can get out of. It's going up against Pusan, the old man, in match 1, the oldest player in this tournament by miles.
Also we've got Mubi, one of the, in my opinion, great Protoss build order players. He's got fantastic builds.
Dude, and Jaedong is actually in top form. Jaedong is in top form right now. He looks really fantastic.
But his body's falling apart.
Yeah, well, he's still in top form, and I think he's going to make it out of this group for sure.
But what about his body falling apart?
Yeah, well,
I think he's got a good shot.
I think he'll get out of this group. I think that he could win
get
this
Jaedong
season.
a new body if it is falling apart. We need to put him in we need to take his brain out and put him in Krang's robot suit. It's like just in the stomach.
Yeah.
And we just make him play from
Oh my
there.
God. I would love it. So, there you have it. That's our last group of the round of 24.
But I mean, if he's in Krang's robot suit, Artosis, do we zoom in on the robot's face when he's playing, or on the brain and the stomach?
There's not much emotion on the robot's face, okay? He's like in the stomach of innovation.
Okay.
And then instead of taking the subway home, he takes a Technodrome home.
Yeah, there you go. What a day. I enjoyed our games. I thought our second game on the map, Sparkle, was really cool. It was interesting to see how Protoss overcame that.
That last CVZ was cool, too. Like, Sulky really trying to rub a couple nickels together, make a quarter. I don't know. But couldn't quite make that work. I don't know. It was a good day overall. And I think this next group is really exciting. I know this was your favorite group going into it. I'm just excited to see what Pusan can do, really. Oh, I mean, of course, Jaedong, but
it gives
Pusan's
me
so
hope because we're like so old. We're
Yeah.
old school. We still playing and trying to get better, but Pusan gives us hope.
One of the original macro Protosses. And,
You know, this Bird War is never going to go away, so we're eventually going to be 50 casting this. We'll be like, oh, good. I'm glad I see a guy who's a solid 48 who's still killing it. I was always worried that when I got to my 50s, I wouldn't be able to make it. He gives me hope.
There you go.
And, of course, there's the other question.
These young guys in their 40s, man.
These young guys. That guy's
40s.
38. Yeah. He's a kid.
These kids.
These kids.
Waving my cane at them.
That's right, man.
Like these children Protoss is 38 years old.
I know.
What are you doing?
We've got a new up-and-coming player. He's only 27, Artosis. They say he's the next Flash Last. I don't know. This is fun. Yeah, we don't have any cast tomorrow. Okay, I was going to say join us tomorrow, but we don't have a cast. So we will see you at the next ASL. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
When it all comes down, when it starts to fall like an avalanche, I will be your wall. I will hold you up, go against them all. When it all comes down, I'll be standing tall. I'll run to your
2018 AfreecaTV presents ASL Season 5.